everybody, and welcome back to We Talk Movies over at the Shape and Shadows YouTube channel. We're going to be talking about Harry Potter Order of the Phoenix, which is one of my favorite ones, pretty much all of them. And of course, the Half-Blood Prince. And of course, I'm never alone in this. I always got my partners in crime always here to help me out with it. And of course, bringing up first, you guys don't love him, as none other than Mr. Aaron.
The breast boy who lived again. You know what I'm saying? Talking about Order of the Phoenix. Oh my gosh. My favorite of the series. No disrespect to any of the other ones, but Order of the Phoenix. When David Yates comes in, oh man, so good, so good. And Half-Blood Prince, also amazing.
And to me, the Half-Blood Prince is like a lot more boring than the. It's a lot boring.
Really?
To me, it's kind of boring. Like there was no Voldemort in it, and it was kind of like I don't know. It just seemed it was kind of like real kind of drawn. Like, okay, come on, let's get to the point. Come on, let's go. Come on. Let's pick up down there.
I kind of see what you're saying, but I do really like the Half-Blood Prince. There is certain stuff in the Half-Blood Prince that is just it's absolutely top notch that we can get into.
And of course, we got other partner in crime. And love him, and it's none other than Mr. Donnie Weasley. Donnie Weasley.
Oh my, he's got the wand and everything. Let's go.
Oh, he's got the Elder Wand.
Weasley. That's funny.
Your mic's off.
You're muted.
Can't hear you.
Now you're muted again. What the heck?
Can't hear you, buddy.
Nothing. Oh, now. Yep.
Say something now.
Can you hear me?
Yep, now we can hear you.
That's weird.
Really weird.
Anyway, what was your introduction?
I was saying, what's up, party people? I was saying the Order of the Phoenix is my favorite too.
Sweet.
Yeah, the Order of the Phoenix to me is
excited to get into it.
Yeah, the Order of the Phoenix is like again. I mean, when it first came out, I enjoyed the Sorcerer's Stone. I enjoyed the Chamber of Secrets. Because you in a way you had stuff with it. Like you had like the Sorcerer's Stone. Like you were like always kind of wondering like who's trying to go after the Sorcerer's Stone. You had the three-headed dog. You finally get there. It's pretty much Quiddle and it's Voldemort. You get the story about Harry, how he's famous and stuff like that, right? And then you got Chamber of Secrets, and it's more kind of like in your face, action in some way. It's right there, ready to go. And then of course you get into pretty much with the basilisk and of course the spiders and everything else. And then you get into Prisoner of Azkaban was actually somebody looks like maybe somebody's hunting Harry. Sirius Black, maybe the one trying to kill Harry, so you got that, you got all that, and then you get the Goblet of Fire, and of course it's the Triwizard of Torment. You got Voldemort coming back. It's all that, it's all in your face, like here you go, right? And then same thing with Order of the Phoenix. When it goes to Order of the Phoenix, it's like right there, it's in there. You're going through this, and we got built the army to fight Voldemort and everything else. But then when you get into they have the Prince like, okay, let's diet all down. And it's kind of going this like mellow, smooth state.
So I can kind of explain like why that is, though. Like, the movie juxtaposed to the book. But is Brittany coming on?
She should be. She has a message. She has a message. I thought that's what it was, but it was actually sharing liking it. So I did not know.
Okay, no, I didn't want to just keep talking if you were about to bring her on. That's all.
Oh no, not yet. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you're right. Voldemort isn't in the Half-Blood Prince. You're right. But the movie was altered so much because you don't see him as he is currently. You see him through a series of flashbacks throughout the entire book. So that scene where you know that scene where Dumbledore is like, he's like, this is perhaps the most important memory I have. It's the day I first met him. I'd like you to see it. And, you know, it shows little Tom Riddle at the orphanage and all that stuff. And even then, Dumbledore knew something was off about him. But from that point all the way up to going to the Crystal Cave, every week on like a Friday night or a Saturday night, whatever it was, Harry would go to the headmaster's office late at night, and Dumbledore had a whole case of nothing but memories of Voldemort, interactions with him, from the time he was a child to the time he became, you know, Lord Voldemort. And they went one by one through each one of those memories and watched every single one of them up until Harry got the memory from Slughorn. So that is completely omitted in the movie. So I think that has a lot to do. You're like, well, Voldemort ain't even in this. You only see the Death Eaters. But really, you would see him growing. You see him, you know, trick Hepzibah Smith. That's the old lady that had the she was a descendant of Helga Hufflepuff, so she had the goblet, the cup.
Yeah.
And she bought the locket, right? Because the Gaunt family is that's the family that Voldemort's mom is from and everything, right? So his name is only Riddle because his dad's name was Riddle, right? Like my name is Hardin because my dad's name was Hardin, right? But my actual family's name is Williams, you know? Excuse me. At least on this side. So what happened was Merope, she gave Tom Riddle Sr., you know, the love potion. Then she had the baby. She stopped giving him the love potion, thinking he would stay because she was pregnant. But Amortentia doesn't cause true love, as we know. We can talk about what happened to Ron in Half-Blood Prince. We know that it doesn't make true love. It causes severe infatuation, right? So Tom Riddle Sr. left her while she was pregnant, went on about his way. Well, she had a brother named Morphin, and her dad's name was Marvolo. And so they had a ring, which was, you know, the resurrection stone was, you know, made into the ring. That was their heirloom, and the Slytherin locket was their heirloom. She took the locket when she left home, and she went to Borgin and Burke's and sold the locket for money and was trying to find a place to stay, like a hotel or something. And she made it to that orphanage and collapsed at the door. She had Tom Riddle, named him, and she died. So that's why he grew up in that orphanage. So then that's when Dumbledore meets him when he's like maybe 10 or 11. And then the book goes through everything after that. So, you know, he gets a Hepzibah Smith, the lady I'm talking about, the old lady that he tricked and took the locket and the goblet from. He worked at Borgin and Burke's after he left Hogwarts. Because remember, Headmaster Dippet told him you could be the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, but he was like, go get some life experience. Like, you're too young right now. Come back when you're 21, because he was 17. He's like, come back when you're 21. I'll give you the job.
And then he learned about all the stuff in Borgin and Burke's, right?
Like he started learning more dark magic and stuff like while he was in there. But then he started leaving and going to Albania, and he already knew about the Horcruxes and shit. But he started leaving and going to Albania a lot, and that's where he was starting to make them. He was starting to make the Horcruxes.
Freaking Albania, dude! I swear.
Of course, the first one was the diary. Like that, of course, that was already made like back when he was in school. But Hepzibah Smith had came in and bought a locket from Borgin. So he saw that, and he saw her with the goblet. Oh no, he saw her buy the locket. So when she came in, then he would try to be all charming and nice to her and all that stuff. So she invited him to her house. You know? Right, and that, you know, like his charm was part of his, like, I don't want to say mystique, but you know, that was cunning. That's his part
personality of for sure.
It's part of, you know, that cunning is part of being a Slytherin. And he goes to her house. She had a house elf there. This goes to show you how strong he was even at like 17, 18. She was like, oh, I have something else to show you. She was like, there were 4 heirlooms of the 4 creators of Hogwarts. And, you know, he's acting like he's in the dark, like he don't know none of this, right? You know, and he's like, oh, you know, I'd be interested to see like what else you have, you know. And she had like some Hufflepuff earrings, and so he was like, are you the descendant of the Hufflepuff family? And she was like, yeah. She was like, here, check this out. She told her elf to go bring this box. And when she opened the box, it was the goblet. So there was the necklace and the goblet. And when he went to reach for it, she closed it, and she was like, no, Tom, I can't let you touch these. These are like significant heirlooms, not knowing that the locket was his. Like, it was his birthright, technically, because it's from his family. He's the heir of Slytherin. It's technically his. So he kept visiting her and charming her and all that stuff. Then eventually he killed her. And then he used the Imperius Curse on the elf to make the elf think she killed her. And
that was Winky, right? You told me about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Just
how
checking.
No, Winky is Barty Crouch's elf.
What am I thinking of?
I can't think of the name of the elf. Yeah, you're right. That Winky is Barty Crouch's elf. But
man, that's gonna bug me. Dang it, because I know you told me.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank because that elf is only ever talked about in that flashback. Because I think she was basically like driven crazy by the thought of killing her, her master, and so that's how he escaped with the goblet and the necklace. He went to, and then he had the diadem too. So when he went back to Hogwarts to ask for the job a few years later, now he done made the diadem, he done made the cup, he done made the diary, he done made the necklace. He needed a place to hide the diadem. So that was part of the reason why he went back to the school. He went to Dumbledore and was like, oh, Headmaster Dippet told me I could have the Defense Against the Dark Arts position. Well, Headmaster Dippet was senile, like he was on the way out. And Dumbledore was just too fucking clever. Dumbledore, because when he came back to him, his skin was all pale. His eyes was red. His nose was like misshapen. And like he was in the middle of transforming in like.
Yeah, how are you gonna be like, oh yeah, this dude's totally okay. I'm gonna definitely give him a very sound position.
Especially knowing what he looked like in his teen years.
Right.
Like he knew something wasn't right with him. So he was like, he's like, well, Tom, he's like, I'm the headmaster now, and I'm not, giving you the position. Whatever you discuss with Headmaster Dippet has nothing to do with me. You didn't discuss that with me. And rather than like starting a big argument and getting mad, he just was like, okay, Professor Dumbledore, that's fine. He left, put the curse on the position, and then he went to the room of requirement, and that's when he hid the diadem in there. Left, because the room, whatever you need in that moment, the room will give you. So that's why the room was like a big mess, because you need something to hide. There's a bunch of junk in there. Like, it would take you forever to find it, theoretically. So he hid it, he left, and then that's when what else is there? We said there's the diary, there's the diadem, there's the goblet, there's the necklace. That's 4.
The ring.
Yeah. Okay, so he made the ring.
And then you also have
then he met Nagini. He met Nagini, made her one, and then of course the Harry thing that came later. But he met Nagini, and he revealed his secret of Horcruxes, like and because they had become friends, he could converse with her. She basically ended up being loyal to Voldemort because she was the first person. Y'all seen Aquaman before? Y'all know, like at the end when he's going and trying to get the trident, like the trident of King Atlan. There's the Leviathan is in there, and he's talking to it. Like it's about to hit him, and he's like, "Wait!" And it's like the Leviathan's like, "You can understand me," and it basically says, "I haven't conversed with somebody in 10,000 years," or whatever it said. Like that's pretty much what happened with Nagini. Like it couldn't, she couldn't talk to anybody because she got stuck. As a snake, she couldn't talk to anybody. That was the first person she was able to talk to. Therefore, he confided, his secret of the Horcruxes with her, turned her into one, and there you go. But how he got some of those memories, I can't exactly remember because, you know what? I think like the memory of Tom killing Hepzibah Smith, I think that came from the elf. Because there was a whole investigation. There was a whole investigation, like by the ministry and all that stuff. And I think they took the elf's memory to see what really happened and all that stuff. Like if she really was guilty, like she was saying she was.
Which is cool which is cool that the Ministry does investigations to that level rather than be like, oh yeah, totally. We just take one side versus the other. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think too, the fact that she was pure blood probably has something to do with that too. You know.
Mrs. Shape, hello.
She said, "Hey, everyone." She's in the bed, the little one. But see, that's all interesting, you know what I mean? Because I mean, with like all the whole cruxes and like with, you know, Voldemort and everything else, it's just like man, like so he was really into. Again, it's just like everyone wants immortality, you know, and of course, you know, no one wants to die, you know, so he wanted to be someone. So I mean, again, you're splitting your soul into 7 pieces. That's, I mean, or you know, 6 or 7 pieces. I mean, that's kind of like, man. I mean, because you're really splitting your soul, and it's like, once you split it once, I mean, there ain't going no back. You know what I mean? You can't go back.
Right. And then doing it again, I'm sure it's easier and easier. You know.
That's what was so cool about like that interaction with Professor Slughorn. Because remember, he was like, "How does one split this soul, sir?" And he was like, "I think you already know the answer to that, Tom." And remember, he was like,
because he had the intuition, but he didn't want to outright say it.
And he was rubbing the ring. Remember, he was like, what did he say? He was like, "Oh, murder." And he was like, "That's right, Tom. Killing is a violation against nature." And that's when, you know, I'm saying, I think it's so strange that Slughorn didn't say anything to Dumbledore or to anybody else, because he was like, you know, could you only split the soul once? Like that right there would have been like, it's already a red flag that he's asking about this super dark magic shit. But then when he was talking about, because remember he was like, isn't it bad enough to consider killing one person, Tom, but to rip the soul into 7 pieces? And then it's like, this is all academic, right? You know, like. And then he lived, you know, he took that with him ever brave, and he was forever haunted by the fact that Voldemort's immortality came because of one conversation he had with him. That had he never had it with him, he might not have ever found that. You know what I'm saying? Like he might not have ever found.
But see, somebody like Tom can hide behind hypotheticals and stuff like that for academic and everything, and it's okay.
So here's the only problem with that, though, is you remember when Harry was like, remember Dumbledore had told him to try to get the memory from Slughorn however he could. You remember he was like, when he first went to Slughorn, he was like, are there certain types of magic that you can teach us and can't teach us? Like, it would seem like if I was in the library the other day, in the restricted section. You're not supposed to be in the restricted section.
Yeah, and he repeats it almost like line for line. It's like, okay, Harry, you're a little bit smarter than that.
Like, but see, and that was the thing, though. It's like, I don't think he knew that it was going to trigger him. I don't think he thought that the memory was that bad. But whatever it was, he obviously was too ashamed to tell Dumbledore. And the crazy thing to me is, like, I feel like Dumbledore, he had a suspicion that it was Horcruxes, but he had nothing to prove it. Because you remember when they see the real memory, yeah, like, and you remember when he sees the real memory, he's like, this is beyond anything I imagined. You know, but then immediately he was like, the ring, the book, you know, and then he was like, but they could be hidden anywhere. And he was like, magic, especially dark magic. And he touched the ring and it started spinning. And that was the moment when he realized that Harry was another Horcrux. Because he was like, that's where you've been going, isn't it, sir? And he was like, yes. He was like, I think perhaps I may have just found another. Like, that was that's my favorite scene in the movie, where he's like, breaking shit down.
But see, but I kind of, because I mean, I got some questions, because I mean we're going to talk about next week, of course, the Deadly Hallows, but I do want to ask this. So the Deathly Hallows, right? The 3 brothers, are those like the great grandparent, basically grandfather, whatever, or uncles, whatever,
ancestors of
Harry?
One of them is a descendant. One of them, the Gaunt family, is a descendant.
Because you told me Gaunt, and then
and one of them is a descendant to the Potter family. What? It was everyone. The Pepper brothers. But I'm saying the Pepper brothers are the inspiration. No, but they're the inspiration for the story though. Like, so you had Ignotus, Antioch, and Cadmus. Those are the 3 brothers, right? And Cadmus, I think, is the one that had the invisibility cloak. So it was passed down through his family to James Potter, Fremont Potter, which is Harry's grandfather, James Potter to Harry Potter, right? So his family is a direct descendant of Cadmus Peril, and then I think Antioch Peril is the one that asked for the the Resurrection Stone,
which in a way passed down to Voldemort's family, right?
Yeah.
Voldemort had the ring.
So there's a distant relation, like family tie between Harry and Voldemort. Yeah.
So who's the third one? With the Elder Wand.
The third brother, I don't think was
had any kids or anything.
Didn't have. I don't think had any descendants that was into part of the story.
Okay.
It would be crazy if it was somewhat Dumbledore. That'd be sick. But I mean,
you know what?
That's just fan stuff, you know.
You know what? Actually, now that you say that, he didn't have a family to pass it down to, because remember, Ignotus got killed. Remember when he got the Elder Wand, he went and killed that wizard that he had once fought and lost to,
right?
But he killed him because the Elder Wand was so strong. And remember when he went to sleep, somebody slit his throat and took it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was nobody for him to pass it down to.
But okay, but hang on, wait. But did the other one with the Resurrection Stone? Did he have kids before his wife died?
He had. I think it was passed down to it was gone to another family member rather than him having kids. I don't think they had kids because she had died so prematurely.
Because I know because the one that had the invisibility cloak, he lived a long life and had a family and everything else. And then finally he's like, "All right, death, here I am." He lived
the longest out of all of them.
Yeah.
Because he
y'all know something funny at my expense? So at one point until very recently, I thought that the Resurrection Stone and the Sorcerer's Stone were the same thing. Until I was, see, there you go.
Okay. I'm sorry. What an idiot!
Hey, wait, hang on. Don't feel bad, because I thought the same way too. Because I'm like, well, when you see a Sorcerer's Stone, it's like a big red ruby. Like a big red ruby.
And then the Resurrection Stone was like, yo, who the hell changed the size of the Sorcerer's Stone? What is this shit?
Yo, you don't listen. Don't you remember Dumbledore told Harry the stone has been destroyed? Because then Harry was like, remember Harry said, Nicholas Flamel will die, won't he? And he was like, yes, he will die without the stone.
Donnie, that is correct. I didn't listen at the time. It's until very recently when I discovered that, buddy.
Oh my god.
But see, there are details that I picked up on.
But I mean, in a way but I guess in a way that kind of would lead into, right now we're talking about the Half-Blood Prince and everything, Voldemort. But if you want to look at it, right, it does kind of lead into the Order of the Phoenix, to where it had the prophecy, of a child that would has the same power where it could be the Dark Lord. But you see that both Harry and Voldemort come from a line. I mean, in a way, like Voldemort comes from the descendant of the Slytherin, but also the descendant from that had the Resurrection Stone. Same thing with Harry. Harry came from the line of the invisibility cloak. Right. So in a way, they're always meant, to be
at that equal level. Yeah.
They were always meant to fight. I mean, it was basically like set in stone. Harry Potter and Voldemort were always meant to, to fight for it. You know what I mean?
Here's something that's interesting too. We're just speaking of little details that we didn't know, that kind of thing. So, first of all, again, the reason why, Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader, Lord Voldemort, Grindelwald, Dumbledore, the reason these characters are my favorite characters is because my question is always what drove them to wanting to have so much power. Like, you know, that's all, like, because usually that's their downfall. Yeah, almost all those characters, you know, like look at how Palpatine was trying to do Luke, and then they threw, you know, Vader threw his ass over like the rail, you know. And so here's the thing. We all know that at one point Dumbledore was the Master of Death. He had all three in his possession at one point, right? So what I found out, I didn't know this. So there are invisibility cloaks that are for sale that you can buy, but over time they lose their ability to hide you, and it's not as it's not as thorough. It's almost like you would still see like a silhouette. Aaron, you know, when we be playing Hogwarts Legacy and I do that there's a thing called disillusionment where my character turns into like a silhouette. You can still see his outline, you know?
Yeah, it's almost like somebody does like a quick like double take and then they see you kind of thing.
Yeah, like invisibility cloaks are like that. The cloak of invisibility hides you completely from your enemy. You cannot be seen.
Interesting.
And it never loses its power. So
it's the most superior version of that.
Because it's part of Death's cloak.
Yeah.
Right. But see, here's the thing. There's a part in, and we can talk more about it when we get to Deathly Hallows, but Dumbledore tells Harry that he didn't think that the tale of the three brothers was actually a real thing. He thought those three brothers invented those three things because, like, you see death and you interact with death. That doesn't make sense. It was what Dumbledore was saying to Harry. So he said he thought that the Thestral is such a unique creature that a stone from its stomach is the resurrection stone. You can't see it unless you've seen death. So, you know, its skin, its hide makes the
and then it's bone
tail hair makes the core of the Elder Wand.
Gotcha.
It's Thestral tail hair in the Elder Wand, which is what makes it so powerful. And you know, like that's one thing I always wondered on Order of the Phoenix when you know how they're in is it Umbridge's office, and you know Umbridge is like, you know, now is the time for answers, whether he wants to give them to me or not. And Snape is like,
the Cruciatus Curse, that's definitely she pushes the big room down.
And
so Dolores Umbridge sucks ass cheeks. Anyway, sorry.
So Snape comes in, right? And you know,
I have no idea.
Right. He tells, you know, he's got Padfoot and where it's hidden. Actually, he left immediately and sent a message to the Order. That's how the Order showed up at the Ministry to fight the Death Eaters. That's how they knew to be there, because Snape went and told them right after.
That would have been an amazing deleted or added scene, dude. Oh my god!
Like, it would make more sense because they just appear. And you're like, how the fuck did they all know to show up at the same time? But they all disapparated together to get there because Snape told them. But that'd
be really cool if they include that in the HBO series that they're trying to make. And speaking of HBO, Donnie, Shay, please watch it. Please watch House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones. Oh my gosh! Speaking of,
don't have HBO.
I'll figure out a way to help you with that. You know what I'm saying? Like that way.
In other words, he don't have it either.
You know what I want?
I want
Apple TV so I can watch Monarch. I want Apple TV so I can watch Monarch.
I do have Max Shape, but I'll try to figure out a way. You know what I'm saying to help you see these things. You know.
I mean. Yeah, like whichever.
Yeah, there are ways. There are ways.
There are ways.
And that's the thing. And whichever company is about to is going to pick up season 4 of the Orville, I need y'all to get on it. Like I need it.
I'm ready for. I'm ready for. It's coming out.
What?
Avatar: The Last Airbender live action on Netflix.
I don't have.
And and season 2 of Halo on Paramount Plus.
I didn't even know that was greenlit. Holy cow!
Yeah, season 2 was greenlit, but I mean,
so much stuff feels like it's happening so fast.
dude, they had the trailer out for season 2 of Halo. Oh my god, man, it looks freaking badass.
Yeah, I was just watching a football game last night, and they was showing some shit where like Godzilla and King Kong finna tag team a motherfucker.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this?
And I lost
the new Empire, and freaking Godzilla's like all pink and shit. You know what's funny?
He had the pink spikes on his back. Yeah,
you know what's funny? They actually show that, right? So they show like different forms of Godzilla, and they compare it to Dragon Ball with Goku, how he transforms into different colors like Super Saiyans.
Oh yeah.
They did that, right? So basically they showed so like the blue was basically Super Saiyan God Goku with the blue hair, and then when you saw him in the pink form, where the new film or the new Godzilla, where he's all like got pink spikes, the pink glow, whatever, that was like freaking Goku Black Rose. I was like, man, that's kind of funny shit.
That's funny. You know, nothing against Goku. Obviously, I know he's like the popular character. He's the character that carried that shit. But Piccolo is my dude. I like Piccolo. Motherfucker's wearing a 50-pound helmet. Like, if he throw that motherfucker off and get to cooking. Like, oh man, I love Piccolo. Like, and like, he's always the most nonchalant. You know, he'll just be standing there and just be talking shit. He'll be like, he's like, do you really think this is going to work? You know, like he'll just be so just nonchalant about whatever. He'll just always.
Well, he did get new form.
Piccolo will hit you with the that face.
Piccolo got an orange form.
Really?
What?
Yeah, in one of the it was one of the I think it's called Dragon Ball. I think it's called Dragon Ball Super Heroes. And so Piccolo got a new form. He got basically an orange form. His whole body's orange, and he actually grew like freaking huge, right? When they fought the new version of Cell, and Gohan actually got his new form. It's called Beast Gohan, and Gohan's like got the freaking like gray spiked hair and shit with the red eyes. Oh yeah, he's like a beast. That of course, you know.
Do you think that Vegeta is ass because he had to use the machine?
What machine? The hyperbolic time chamber?
He had to use the chamber to reach the Super Saiyan level that Goku already just got to. And I remember as a kid, everybody was like, Vegeta's ass. That's why he ain't better than Goku, because he had to use the machine. Well, it's like, well, I mean, you know, some people got to practice more than.
I mean, Goku did too, but the thing is, though, so basically, so Vegeta never reached Super Saiyan 3, right? But Vegeta actually reached Super Saiyan God. And he was Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, and he also has his own version of Ultra Instinct called Ultra Ego.
And ego is the right word. And what's the shit called when they turn into the big monkey? Like, I ain't watched Dragon Ball in 25 years, bro. Like,
the Ozarus.
Like, cause I remember having to fight, dude, the big ass monkey and the fucking dude, Majin Buu. Oh my god. Nigga, you had to fight like 3 Majin Buus at the same time on Xenoverse. Oh god, like that shit really made me like. Oh god, it made me not want to play. But
there's a lot of shit coming out next year.
You know what I want? If they're gonna do a live thing, and I know that my man Kazuki Takahashi, he passed away last year. He drowned, saving a little kid from drowning. So rest in peace to the god. But I want them to make a live action Yu-Gi-Oh! Like and hear me out. It ain't necessarily gotta follow Yugi or nothing like that. You can just make, don't make a random bullshit character that nobody's gonna know, like how Mortal Kombat did with Cole. Like, don't do that. But it don't have to be a live action version of, like Yugi and Kaiba and Pegasus and Joey. It ain't gotta be that story necessarily, even though that's the OG story. Like, it'd be dope. I just think that with the way technology is now and shit, you can make those cards really pop and come to life, and like, you know what I mean? Make the Dark Magician look, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, the Red Eyes Black Dragon, the Summon Skull. You can make them look really, really dope. Like, man,
you know what I want? If I want an anime, man, I want Baki. I want a live action Baki.
Is that only was that on Toonami?
No, it's on Netflix.
Netflix. Because I remember watching Toonami all the time. Like, because the last time, what was the other Dragon Ball? What was it called? Was it called GT or something? Or what was it called?
Yeah. Dragon Ball. Yeah. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT.
What's the one that had the androids?
The androids. That was Dragon Ball. That was Dragon Ball Z.
Where they was fighting like Android like 15 and 16 and shit. When Goku was like fucked up, he had something wrong like with his heart or something.
Yeah, that was Dragon Ball Z. I think that was. I want to say that was whole season 1 of Dragon Ball Z was the Saiyan saga. Then you had the Frieza saga, and then you had the end. I think you had the future Trunks saga, along with the androids, and then you had the Cell saga, and then you had the after the Cell saga was the Majin Buu saga, and then you also had, I think the Majin Buu, I think it was the last one, and then you had Dragon Ball GT, which was after that, and then now you got Dragon Ball Super, but Dragon Ball Super actually takes place before Dragon Ball GT supposedly.
So then, excuse me, which one is the one? When did like what? Because once I started watching Yu-Gi-Oh, bro, I didn't watch no other anime. Maybe a little Pokemon here and there, but I stopped watching everything when Yu-Gi-Oh hit. And I still got some of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards actually. And for the record, just as far as the Yu-Gi-Oh thing goes, Kaiba is a hoe. Kaiba is a hoe, but he is not more, maybe tied with Weevil. Oh my god, I fucking hate Weevil so much. The nigga threw Exodia off the boat, dog. Like what? And then still got his ass mopped up by Yugi. But
man, everybody gets mopped up by Yugi. Come on now.
That's not true.
Pretty much.
Your Rare Hunters was whooping his ass, dude. What are you talking about?
Every time Yugi freaking like fights anybody, man, he's always winning. We all know he's gonna win.
That's not true. Because
that is true.
That's not true, dude. You gonna sit there and tell me with a straight face that Pegasus wasn't fucking him up?
But still, Yu-Gi-Oh always comes out, even though he's getting fucked up, he still comes out on top at the end. Always.
Well, I mean, he has he has an advantage of the pharaoh that created the game is like able to take over his body.
We're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, aren't we?
Yeah, like it. Like how could he lose? Like it's the same way that Pegasus would fucking cheat all the time.
But not the pharaoh. But not the pharaoh that the Weasley family visited in Egypt.
No, Yugi beat the pharaoh at the end of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I know that. I know how to story.
Yugi beat him. He's like, "Goodbye, Pharaoh."
At that point,
what was that?
At that point, so much had changed. You know what I mean in the story. Because at that point, they had started. They had brought in the Great Guardian. They had brought in the Egyptian god cards by that point, and all that. To me, that shit just muddied up the game. Here's the question though: Slifer the Sky Dragon. He got unlimited health. He got unlimited defense. It's based off of how many cards you got in your hand. If you pull Exodia, do you beat Slifer?
I don't think so. No.
Sure.
Why would you not?
Because it only goes by how many cards you have in your hand. His power only goes by how many cards you have in your hand. Even though if you get an Exodia, his power
Exodia
go up high.
Exodia doesn't have like a cap on his health.
But still, it goes by the cards. How many cards you have in your hand? If you got 7 cards in your hand, Cyber Skydragon will be at 7,000 freaking life points.
Right, but I'm saying Exodia obliterate ends the game. Like this is a debate that we've had for a long time. Like what is the
wait, hang on, wait. Okay, are you saying like are you saying like if Exodia like fought Slifer the Sky Dragon?
I'm saying if we were dueling, right, and you had Slifer on the field,
yes.
and I got 4 cards in my hand, and I pull the last piece of Exodia, I automatically win because Exodia is automatic game over.
Well, yeah. Wait. I thought you were saying that if you pull like a piece of Exodia in your hand, and then all of a sudden like Slide First Power like should be like
no,
free, like
no.
20,000.
No. I mean, if they meet on the battlefield.
Oh, me. Okay, nice. Yeah, it'll be Exodia all the way.
Because see, that was the thing. We always argued about them being like, oh, well, they're Egyptian god cards. It's like, well, if Exodia could beat the three-headed Blue Eyes, has 4,500 attack. Obelisk had 5,000. There's only 500 more. So if Exodia could beat the three-headed Blue Eyes, it should be able to beat, right? It should be able to beat.
Wait. Now, I wonder if Exodia can defeat Ra.
Remind me, what's Ra's power?
The winged dragon of Ra. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
He doesn't have does he have a set amount of like health points and stuff? I mean, attack points.
But I think he's what? I think he's a new. I think he's, but I don't know.
Let me see. Because I know that there's a whole section where they went through all of that. Winged Ra. Details. In the series, Duel Monsters, it is considered the most powerful card. Let me see. Cannot be special summon, requires 3 tributes to normal summon, cannot be normal set. This card's normal summon cannot be negated. When normal summon, other cards and effects cannot be activated. When this card is normal summon, you pay life points so that you only have 100 left. God damn. This card gains the attack and defense equal to the amount of life points that you paid. You can pay 1,000 life points, then target one monster on the field and destroy the target. That's kind of ass. That's kind of ass. If we're playing 8,000 life points, I got to go all the way down to 100 life points so it can have 7,000. Or
But what if you had the Elder Wand? I don't know.
Have you watched Yu-Gi-Oh before?
Hey, yes-ish. I think I finished the first season.
But honestly, if you have Exodia in your deck, you pull all 5 pieces of Exodia, you're going to automatically win, even against the Egyptian card.
I mean, according to the Winged Dragon of Ra, it says that you can attack anything. You pay those life points, you can attack anything and destroy it. It says no matter what it is that it gets destroyed. I guess the only thing with Exodia is you summon him, right? Like he's not a card that you play on the field like you would summon Skull. You play that on the field. Exodia, once you draw him, is over. Aaron, Exodia is the big like chained monster that Yugi was dueling Kaiba, bitch ass, and he was like, Exodia, obliterate, and you saw his hands like pulling off the chain and his legs.
Oh wait. Listen to this, right? In the card game, Exodia still wins, but if the Winged Dragon of Ra is pinned against Exodia after both have been sealed in stone tablets, been unleashed by a human, or they're talking about, but basically in the game, yes. So even though if you have freaking the Winged Dragon Ra, Exodia still wins by a landslide.
Interesting.
It's funny that you bring up Exodia and Yu-Gi-Oh! Dime. My brother's best friend Bud, he has like Exodia cards and stuff like that, and like when he showed them to me, I was like, mother of God.
But wait, there's like different types of Exodia.
He has them.
There's just like 4 or 5 different types of Exodias.
There
That's
are
news
now.
to me.
I'm talking about back then. There was one. There was 5 pieces.
Yeah,
His pieces separately was weak as fuck, but all together, like he was just gonna dominate.
You know what? If I played Yu-Gi-Oh, if I ever played the actual card game and I had all 5 pieces, I'd be cheating so bad. I would put those cards right there for like.
Well, you just admitted it. Now you can't freaking win.
Yo, I tell you, dude, I used to cheese, bro. Like, cause they used to have like tournaments at the mall here, and I used to cheese.
Yeah, back in Vegas they always did too.
There's a card called Cyber Steam, and we play 8,000 life points, right, instead of 5,000 or 3. And with Cyberstein, you can pay like 5,000 life points or something like that, and then you get to special summon any type of fusion monster out your deck, right? And I had the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon with the 3 heads. So I would put Cyberstein out, sacrifice the life points, special summon the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And you do that, and then you still get to draw. Then I'd pull, the Dark Magician or, the Summon Skull or something like that. So I'm cheesing, right? Then, even if they hit me with Dark Hole or, something like that, then here come Monster Reborn. Nah, give me that Blue Eyes Ultimate back, player. What you trying to do? And I mean, and everybody thought it was like all official, because you could only have one Monster Reborn, right? And everybody thought it was all official. Like niggas showed up with remember the thing that they used to wear on their arm that they put the cards in?
Yeah.
Like we definitely showed up with
wanted
them.
one of those so bad.
We definitely showed up with them, looked completely ridiculous. Like, because you put the card down, the shit's not popping up like it did on the show. It looked completely ridiculous.
Yeah, that stuff made me so sad. It's like that and like Power Ranger Morphers, how it never acted like totally how it was in the show. I was like, what the shit? Is this defective? And it's like, no, it's a show, you idiot.
Not like that.
And I got sad, and
I think it would be way cheap too, so like they would break easily and shit. Cause I remember I had the Ninja Storm one, and it came with the 3 like discs.
I had the Ninja Storm one too. Love that one.
I did too. It had like little buttons on it, but like when you would spin the, whether it was Shane Dustin or when you would spin it, that shit would go flying across the room like, like shit like a Beyblade. Oh, sorry. For the viewers watching, this is the part where we take a mandatory detour.
Yeah, we take detours a lot.
This is a different magic, still kind of in the world of Harry Potter, but very American magic entertainment.
Magic entertainment. But anyways,
Yu-Gi-Oh is Japanese, right?
Okay, yeah, but it got brought over here.
That should impossible. Yu-Gi-Oh should be Egyptian. Just saying.
Okay.
Probably should. Well, I mean,
Do you think that it'll be adapted? Be a Netflix or something?
Oh, that's what me and him was talking about. Like a live action version of it would look amazing. Seeing like the dark.
I mean, I'm hyped for, like how Shape said, Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think it looks good as hell, and then I'm excited.
Way better than goddamn M. Night Shyamalan shit.
Right, and I'm excited to see. I'm excited to get like updates on what Max is gonna do for Harry Potter, because like how we talked about like way back before the holidays, like how the first book is about 8 hours and some change. So if they did 10 hours, they could fit a lot more into those seasons.
But the book is it's 8 hours based off of that person that was reading it. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Because I read that.
That's why I say like giving it like 10 hours or maybe even like 12 hours to
that's
really.
That's what they were saying. They were saying that this shit was, the plan was for it to last 10 years. I don't know why it would need to last 10 years, because it's only 7 stories.
But that could be like expecting like delays or something like that too.
But I mean, what I'm saying is, what we don't need is here's Sorcerer's Stone season 1, 2, and 3. Here's Chamber of Secrets season 1, 2. We don't need that. Do it all for the one school year. Be done with that one, and that's one season. Didn't do Chamber of Secrets.
I agree.
One season.
I agree.
Well, yeah, because I mean, they can do that. I mean, like with any season, I mean, hell, like a regular season is what, like 23, 24 episodes. That's one season usually.
Depending on the show, yeah.
Yeah.
If you have 1 hour episodes, you can pretty much fit everything in there with 20 fucking episodes, 24, 25 episodes.
And I don't want that bum ass shit that the Power Rangers used to do, where there would be like a saga happening, and it would be
Part
like
1, part 2.
part 1, right? Yeah, but then it would be like part 3, part 4. Then after part 4 would be some random bullshit episode that didn't have nothing to do with what happened in the previous 4 episodes. Then the week after that, you would get part 5, the ending of it. That shit pissed me off when Power Rangers Go Psycho came out, because it was like part 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the next episode after part 4, Rangers Go Psycho part 4, is Carlos on Call. It ain't got shit to do with the Psycho Rangers. And then after that, it goes to episode 5, or part 5, where they figure out they defeat the Psycho Rangers.
Like, let's just
Carlos on Call. What was that about? He's on call. Hey, we need a Power Ranger. Oh, I'll be there.
No. This little girl was taking pictures, and she caught him when he went in the photo booth to morph, and she had pictures of him morphing into the Black Ranger. So she blackmailed him basically that she was going to reveal his identity if he didn't hang out with her, and like take her to the park and all that kind of stuff. Be best friends, stuff like that. Yeah, which had absolutely nothing to do with the goddamn Psycho storyline. Like Shape, you might not remember the Power Rangers Go Psycho. They was getting their ass whooped.
Each and every episode.
And
which one was part of that? Which was a part of that?
In space.
Oh, space.
Which was 98.
Andros, like
97. 97. I think 97.
I can't remember the Power Rangers.
96.
Maybe 98.
Is that the one with the dog?
Let us
SPD.
Google.
Oh, it was SPD.
SPD came out like 2008 or something.
Power Rangers
SPD. SPD slept on.
SPD, it was slept on. Like,
was Tom was the Sword of the Red Ranger at the time?
Who?
What?
Tommy, was he the Red Ranger in Power Rangers Space?
No, it was a guy named Andros. It was TJ. From what Aaron told me, it was TJ, because the Power Rangers Turbo led into In Space. Right?
Yeah, and then Andros kind of took the mantle of the Red. It was 1998, Donnie.
98.
Yeah, I was 8 years old.
Yeah, I like Power Rangers in Space is one of my favorites. It ain't got Light Speed Rescue, Time Force, Ninja Storm. Not in that order necessarily, but those are the 3 that I sat in front of TV and watched every single.
I like Mystic Force.
That was kind of hard too, but what
Mystic Force wasn't bad.
I think
I like it that the Red Ranger was like the long lost son.
Rebel.
It was like the long lost son of basically that lady that's training them, and his father was like the bad guy, and his father became the good guy again.
And see, that's the thing you find out, because what's the chick's name on In Space, Aaron? Andromeda? Is that her name?
Astronomer.
Her and Andros are brother sister, and Andros is the Red Ranger. TJ is the Blue Ranger. So get this. So Astronomer. No. What's the she wasn't the bad guy though. I'm talking about the chick that had like the blue hair, the one who was draining Dark Spectre's power to make the Psycho Rangers.
Oh,
because remember the Psycho Ranger tried to pop off to her one day, and she was like, "You better stay in your fucking place," and like electrocuted his ass.
I thought that was Astronomer.
Is it? Oh,
I'm pretty sure because she had like the.
Bless you.
So yeah, this is space magic to tie into the theme here.
We'll get right back to it, people. But I just want to say this to Shape. So okay, so you have I think it was Astronomer. We can't figure out who it was, but she made these Rangers called the Psycho Rangers, and there was one for every color of the in space Power Rangers.
I don't see no Astronomer or whatever in here.
Is that her? That's not her name?
I don't see her in here.
What does it say?
I don't see anybody with that name on the cast. Like the cast, but they give their names. Well, you got Andros, and you got
Astronomer revealed as Andros.
You got
the locket, yeah.
So Andros,
are you thinking of Corone? Because that was her other name, Corone.
No, I'm talking about the chick with the chick that was like
Oh yeah, because there's
blue hair that was talking shit.
Yeah, Crone. Yeah, Crone was basically so she played the Pink Ranger.
They was calling her something else.
In Lost Galaxy, her
I don't
name
think you
was
see it,
Crone.
but look, I don't think you can see it, but hang on, I don't think you see it. There's she right there.
Oh my god, that's a
Right
bright
there.
screen, sir.
Yes, that's the chick. That's the chick that made the
Yeah, that's Crone. That's her name, Crone.
They called her something else in that season though.
I think she like then she became a fucking Power Ranger. The fucking Power Rangers, the other one.
Lost Galaxy.
The other one.
She became part of Lost Galaxy.
She started out as Astronema, being a villain, and then became Corone. She remembered essentially her other identity.
Wait. Hold on. So Astronema is Andros' sister.
Correct. So is Corone because it's the same person.
But she made. You know what? She didn't have blue hair. She had the red like the bob joint. That's what it was. That's what it was. Because remember, she would be talking. And remember the one Red Ranger, the Psycho Ranger, was like, "We would have had them finished today if you hadn't have stopped us." And she took like her staff and electrocuted his ass. And he was like, and she was like, "You better learn your place, like before you talk to me crazy again."
Your place, motherfucker.
Because remember, he was hitting the Harlem Shake and shit. Like remember he was over there hitting the Harlem Shake.
Cruciatus cursed his ass.
Cruciatus.
This shit that made me laugh is that the other Rangers, like the other Psycho Rangers, was when he was over there.
That's funny.
He was over there hitting the MC Hammer, right? The other Rangers said, like, they just backed up, like.
I know what you're saying, but how you're saying it.
Like,
oh my god!
all right. Let's get back to Harry Potter.
I wasn't done with my point.
I wasn't done.
Because we were arguing over who.
Let me finish.
So Dark Spectre, right? He was like the evil, like warlord, whatever you want to call it, right? Dark Spectre, Astronema used his power. She was draining his power somehow, and she made the Psycho Rangers, right? And there was a Psycho Ranger for each color. So there was a red one, a yellow one, a blue one, a black one, a pink one. But they didn't count on, what's my man's name? Zane, right? Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
Silver Ranger he was frozen in the ice when they saved him.
Correct. Captain America his ass.
They saved Zane, right? And Zane, he was dope, man. Like he was one of the first like Silver Rangers we ever saw. He was fucking dope, right? And what they didn't count on, because every time the Rangers would get their ass whooped, right? At some point, what happened was the Psycho Rangers, they would fight their respective color. And when they touched their helmet, they not drained, but like they copied all of their fighting styles from their brain, right? So they knew how they were gonna fight. So every time they matched up with them again, the red Psycho Ranger only wanted to fight Andros. The blue Psycho Ranger only wanted to fight TJ because he knew how he would fight now, right? So when they tried to mix them up and have the black one fight the yellow one, the red one fight the pink one, like, when they tried to mix it up like that, the Psycho Rangers saw what was happening and eventually they went back to red on red, blue on blue, yellow, yellow, right? Then what happened was TJ got knocked out. He came to. He was watching the fight, watching them get their ass whooped. And then that's when he realized, oh, wait a minute. And they had like these little figurines. And he took this blue spray paint and spray painted all the figurines blue. And he was like, this is how they want us to fight. This is how we make them fight. So they all showed up with blue outfits on. And the Psycho Rangers didn't know who was the Black Ranger, who was the Pink Ranger, who was the Yellow Ranger. And so they just had to go in random. And then when they was getting their ass whooped too bad, Zane would pull up, because you know how the Sixth Ranger is always like more powerful than the other five.
Yeah, Sixth Ranger always more powerful.
Like the Sixth Ranger always pull up more powerful. Like, so I gotta ask, who's the best Sixth Ranger? And then back to that Harry Potter talk.
What the best Sixth Ranger? Come on, we all know who the best Sixth Ranger is. It's going to be Tommy, the Dragon Ranger, or the Green Ranger, or the goddamn White Ranger. That's it. That's it.
Either that or Trent
I'm
from
gonna head out.
Dino Thunder. Who was the White Ranger?
I'm gonna head out.
No, or the Green Ranger from freaking Ninja Storm.
Cam.
Oh yeah,
Cam.
Cam was dope.
Cam was
dope.
that dude.
Yep.
Oh my god, Cam was that dude.
I love.
You remember
I
when-
love
remember
that
when he
Cam
pulled up-
subverted the expectation of being like,
You
oh,
remember-
he's just the nerdy son.
just a
and then
nerd
just like,
dude?
Okay,
Yeah,
I got
like-
your ass.
And his dad was a rat too. That was hot. But like when I was he was a rat. When I was a
Guinea
kid,
pig.
rat.
Guinea pig.
RAT. Rat.
Guinea pig. He was a guinea pig. Look it up.
Rat.
PIG.
Right. He was a rat. So
He's a guinea pig.
I never noticed when I was a kid that the actor who did the voice of the rat was also
Guinea
Lothar.
pig.
Just in like live action with the mask on and everything. I never realized it was the same guy. And so because at the end, I think Sensei got turned back human, I think at the very end of
Yeah, he
Ninja Storm.
did.
But
Mhm.
you guys remember, so when Cam went back in time, it froze everything, but he had to take the Ranger's powers to go back in time. And you remember when he came back, he was like, remember Dustin was like, hey, I know we're all tired, but like, do y'all see like the green guy standing over there, or is it just me? And then Shane was like, no, I see him too. And R.I.P. Pua Magastevia, man, like just
Oh man,
tragic,
yeah.
man. And he said, no, dude, no, I see him too. And it was like, he was like, everything is okay, Dustin. And he was like, did he just call me Dustin?
See?
How do you know
See?
my name? And he was like,
Guinea
why
pig.
would
It says right there.
Oh my,
The
the
sensei
screen was
grabbed
too.
the form
The
of a
screen was
guinea pig.
glaring, buddy.
Shape, Alex, I know that it was a guinea pig, but rat is funnier to me.
No, can't do
I
it.
knew he was a
He
guinea
said
pig. Like,
no.
do you think? Wait, hold on, wait. Do you think I'm that stupid? Like for real?
No, you can't say rat. I'll say no, it's guinea pig.
Right, but rat is funnier.
He said-
No, but
he
I
said-
know, but wait.
He
It
wants you
may
to call it what it is.
but the people that are watching be like, oh, it's a rat? Like freaking like Ninja Turtles? Like Master Splinter? Just people thinking.
So what you're saying? So it's our job to be accurate then?
Yes, we have to be accurate.
Okay.
Accuracy.
We have to be journalists. Okay. So he was turned into an orange and white guinea pig.
Mhm.
Rat. But he was turned into an orange and white guinea pig that he ended up staying as for like the most of this. I think it was like a couple episodes in. He got turned into that, and then he was like, Blake and Hunter came in. That shit was fire. Hey, Eric,
Oh,
you
man.
want to make something of it, Waldo? Like,
I love that Ninja Storm, like it made it
barrier.
three Rangers that had to do
That
the
could-
job of 5.
Oh, 6.
And
yeah.
then it
it
ended
eventually
with-
turned into 6, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Still.
the way they used to turn like the Megazord. I was just thinking about this earlier today at the hospital. How remember they Megazord had like a lightning mode or something where it would get skinny and it could
Mhm.
move fast as shit.
Yeah.
Like that was hard. And then
Yep.
like they
Only
They
for
would
like
take-
a minute or something. Yeah.
it had to go back, and then they took like the Thunder Rangers Megazord and the Ninja Rangers and the Wind Rangers, put it together, and then at the end, remember there was like the little mini Megazord that they had that
Mhm.
Cam used to fuse his helicopter Zord into that one.
Oh, yeah.
Because at
But
the
you know what's
end,
funny? But I think Ninja Storm was the first time we ever see a male as a Yellow Ranger.
Yellow Ranger. Yep. I think it was. I was thinking that too. Do y'all remember that episode where Cam got bit by the mosquito and he started like growing
Yep.
wings and shit, and he was all like,
It was almost
twitching,
like-
and he was like this and everything.
Well, I mean, how you talked about the Fly, Donnie, that's kind
Yeah.
of what it reminded me of, because I've seen like bits and pieces of the Fly, and that's absolutely what it reminded me of.
And let me tell you too, the game, like when they had the video game was on Game Boy, like it was super, super dope. Because if you played as the Wind Rangers, when you got to a level, let's say you got to a level that had water, if you switched to Tori, you could walk across the water.
Mhm.
If you was Dustin or Shane, you had to jump from point to point. But if you was Tori, you could just walk across. And but you could switch seamlessly between the three. If you had the Thunder Rangers, you could switch between Blake and Hunter, and it had like a different little story. Some of the levels were the same, but it was different. And then Cam, he had a different like level. The ending of the level would always be the same, but the beginning of it would be different depending on the Rangers you had. But Cam,
Mhm.
his thing was, you know how what was the shit called where he would spin the front of the helmet around and he would throw his armor plate off.
Super
he had, like,
Samurai mode.
That's what it was. So
Mhm.
you can
I think
all
so.
of them.
I'm
So all
confident.
the Rangers have like special powers and weapons, right? And so you
Mhm.
know, like Shane, you could like if enemies were jumping in the air, you could jump, and you know how you used to do the airwalk shit, like you could do that
Dope.
with Shane, and he had the Hawk Blaster gun. Tori had the Sonic Fin, and she could walk in the water, and then Dustin could go underground on the game and pop up underneath the enemies, and that would kill him. And then he had the Lion Hammer. If you was playing as Cam, if you had a level 1 weapon, when you turned into Super Samurai, it automatically made it level 3, and he hit the range would be quicker, he would move faster, all that stuff, but it would slowly drain your health bar. So you had to decide when you were going to use it, you know what I mean, and turn it off. Because when you had to fight like Chubo and Zergain, like the bosses and stuff, that's when you wanted to use it, because you would take their health off in chunks like this, you know, at a time when he was in that Super Samurai mode. So no disrespect to Tommy, but the best 6 Ranger, dog. Quantum Power. Come on, dog. That's the best 6 Ranger of all time. Like the Q-Rex will mop up anybody else's Megazord, and that includes that weak ass Dragon Zord where he was playing a flute and he never even opened his helmet to play the flute.
Nope. I gotta say, it's either, wait, it's the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, and of course the Green Ranger from Ninja Storm and the
Dino
Gold
Thunder.
Ranger when Jason came back as a Gold Ranger.
Oh, okay, man.
What's your answer, Aaron? Because Alex is wrong. So what's your answer?
He's not. It's not a 6th Ranger, but I think that Tommy as the Black Ranger
The Dino Thunder.
in Dino Thunder, because he knew all the tricks of the trade. You know,
Wasn't he a White Ranger in there too? Wasn't there a White Ranger?
There was a
he
White
was the
Ranger.
White Tiger, but then
No,
Trent
there was
the
a White Ranger on Dino Thunder.
Yeah, sure.
he was. It was the White.
It was Trent. It was
Pterodon.
yeah.
It was Trent Mercer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And see, Tommy
He sounded
tried
like it.
talking to Trent because he knew what it was like to fight against his friends, and then Trent was just like, "Shut up, old man. You're old, and shut up."
What about first, R.I.P. to JDF, man. No disrespect.
Facts.
He's the fucking
Absolute facts.
he's the fucking GOAT of Power Rangers. We all know that. But as far as 6 Rangers go, I have to say Eric, the Quantum Ranger. The Q-Rex will mop up anybody. The Quantum Ranger from Time Force.
Time Force.
Where they traveled back to the year 2001 from the year 3001. And he had
been to the year 2000.
They had to go back to like 65 million years ago to get the Q-Rex back because it could time travel, but they overshot it, so it ended up back in prehistoric times. Eric had to go back and get it, but the enemies had it first, and then he had to break it of their control. But the Q-Rex was like such a beast. Eric would be on the ground talking to his morpher, controlling it, and it would be doing whatever, right? That Q-Rex could fight 2 or 3 enemies at a time, mop them up. He might get hurt here or there. And then remember, Aaron, what would happen? The Q-Rex would run back in time, and then he would go to sleep in that cave. And when he came back, he was strong again, and he had healed and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying the Q-Rex was just too fucking strong. Like,
oh yeah, the Quantum Ranger who was basically still a Red Ranger.
yeah, he
Red Ranger.
Yeah, he had the quantum controller was that little box, that silver box that he put his hand in.
Yeah.
Quantum power.
What's the last thing? What's the 6th Ranger from Wild Force? Because Aaron, that's
He's
the
kind
one.
of a dick.
No, we totally agree. He was a complete asshole, but his power was unmistaken. Like,
Eric, I believe from Wild Force,
Lunar,
the
shit like that.
Yeah,
the wolf.
Yeah, the wolf.
Eric, I believe. Max was dope. I remember
that dude.
I remember
Danny too.
Well, because because I mean, Max loved comic books and stuff like that, and like I love that. And he was a shark, which I don't mess with sharks, but you know, Max did, and I like sharks. So
Who had the dopest morph? And then, like, that's
in Wild Force,
getting y'all opinion. We gotta do like a Power Ranger live stream, bro. Like, because I think all of us.
I was gonna say this got hijacked.
Like, I think all men had that moment where they was kids and grew up watching it. Then we got a little older and like, Power Rangers is for kids, and we stopped watching it. Then you start watching it again as you got a little older. You was like, this shit fire. Why I stop watching it? You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just wondering who had the dopest.
Yeah, I stopped watching like after Dino Thunder and Ninja Storm, and like right after the last like, Mystic Force. I kind of stopped at some point in time because they started because they had like freaking Power Ranger Pirates, and then Power Ranger whatever. I'm like, okay, this get too much.
But Mystic Force was after SPD though, right, Aaron?
Right? Yeah, it was.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Mystic Force.
Yeah, Mystic Force was after SPD. It was still in the Disney era.
I know, right? SPD is right after Dino Thunder, right?
Yep.
See, the only thing what I didn't like about Dino Thunder, and it's no disrespect to the cast, because I like the characters. I just felt like, personally, we've seen this.
Well, Mystic Force came out in 2006. When did
Yeah. Dino Thunder was after SPD, or SPD was after Dino Thunder. Mystic Force was after.
Yeah, because Ninja Storm came out in 2003.
Right. But I see what you're.
Well, Dino Thunder came out in 2004.
Yeah, it was right after
and then SPD was 2005.
And then SPD and then Mystic Force.
Really? Well, SPD came before.
You said Mystic Force was 06, yeah.
So Power Rangers SPD came out in 2005. Dude, that seems so weird. I thought Dino Thunder.
I know, right?
You thought Dino Thunder was later?
Yeah, I thought Dino Thunder was like later.
But I mean, it also doesn't surprise me because Power Rangers has changed hands from Disney to Nickelodeon to whatever so many times that like they don't always. It seems like they don't always know when they should not publish, but like release the episodes, if that makes sense. Because like then they have to brand it as whatever it is, which
and you got to
stinks because it's already filmed. You know?
And you got to get that idea over too, because it's not going to work if people don't like the idea. And like what I was saying about Dino Thunder, I just felt like personally we saw this with Mighty Morphin. All three of us grew up with Mighty Morphin, which was at the time, you know, they took what was prevalent, hip hop, dancing, dinosaurs, robots, and made a show. And it's like we were just seeing a more modernized version of that. And I'm not that I'm saying I'm trying to hate on the show or whatever. But me and my grandmother used to watch it every morning before I got on the bus to go to school. But I just felt like in the end, we had that already. SPD stood out. I was like, we ain't never seen no fucking dog. Like he'd be out there whooping ass too. Like so.
What I like about Dino Thunder is that.
Here you guys go. So you got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is 1. Power Rangers Zeo is 2. Then you got Power Rangers Turbo, Power Rangers
Space, and Galaxy.
Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
Rescue.
Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Power Rangers Time Force. Power Rangers Wild Force. Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Power Rangers SPD. Power Rangers Mystic Force. Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. Power Rangers Fury. Power Rangers RM. Then you got Power Rangers Samurai. Then you got Power Rangers Mega Force. Power Rangers Dino Charge. Power Rangers Spy Central. Power Rangers Ninja Steel. Power Rangers Dino Force Brave. Power Rangers Hyper Force. And the last one is Power Rangers Beast Formers.
Just keep changing the adjective. Just keep changing the adjective. We can keep making more.
Which I mean that
how many Dino Force, how many ninjas are you gonna have? Samurais. I mean, come on now. It's kind of like all the songs.
But see, like Overdrive, Hyper, whatever the fuck. That's all.
Overdrive
but I'm saying that's the same as like SPD. You know, then the Dino things all kind of seem. That's what I like so much about Time Force. They went to the year 3001 and then they came back to 2001. So everything to them was primitive, and they was like. this shit is ass, because they were in the future. And like that's what had me glued to the TV. Stop laughing. Like that's what had me.
It's funny. Sorry.
That's what had me like, glued to the TV. It's like, ow.
You did it.
Oh, what's your favorite morph shape, Aaron? And then
I don't know. I gotta watch them again. I can't remember what my favorite morph was.
I know what mine is. Mine is, even though I love Dino Thunder, it's probably Watch and Learn. Ninja Storm, Ranger Form.
Yeah. Yo, and it's a little watch.
Yeah.
Remember when they first got the morphers? He was like, does it have games?
Yeah. Like as much as I love Dino Thunder, I love Dino Thunder, but freaking Dustin spoke to my soul, being an absolute goofball, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question though. With the Power SPD with a fucking dog turned to a damn Power Ranger.
How does his nose fit in there?
How come he didn't have the hell with the big ass looking like dog thing?
It's a great
It's
question.
normal.
And
Like,
I don't know what to tell you.
I saw a meme.
I saw a meme about that. Actually.
I like his look way better than the rest of their looks. Like his look was like the better look.
Yeah, and he had like the 100 number.
Yeah.
That was dope. He was the Shadow Ranger.
He was something.
So you don't have a favorite? See, Aaron, I wasn't saying like one specific morph. I just meant which Rangers had the coolest like morph, like in general.
The original. Mighty Morphin Power
Not
Rangers.
a morph for you? Oh. Yeah, it was dope when they got the Ninjetti like powers and shit.
Yeah,
they all got new like new creatures, animals. Like because they end up getting like the frog, the bear, the crane, falcon,
right?
Like, as opposed to what they already had. Rocky, what did Rocky have? The gorilla, the ape.
Rocky had the ape. Yep.
And Billy had the wolf.
Freaking.
Adam had the frog. Aisha had the bear.
Kimberly had the crane.
Had the crane, and then falcon.
Yeah,
Billy had the wolf.
The wolf.
Hey,
Guys and girls and guys, gather around and feast your eyes. We didn't party with me.
Hey, speaking of falcons, right? Well, we got hawks here. We got big ass hawks.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
So wait, no, hang on. So I was driving around his house. I was dropping a little one off because I was going to the gym and stuff, right? So I was driving down the road, right? I was basically just driving, and I didn't see it on the corner of my eye. I didn't see it. He's on the ground. But this damn freaking hawk jumped up, right, and was flying over my car. Well, another car was coming. He ended up going back this way, right? And I fucking clipped his ass with my windshield.
Wow.
He made a big. I thought you almost broke my windshield, man. That's how hard I hit him. I clipped him. He fucking rolled off the windshield, and then I looked at the rear mirror. And he's kind of like flapping.
It's crazy when this past weekend I went to St. Louis with my mom and my brother's family for Polar Express, which Donnie, dude, you should go to that because you get to ride on a train. So upcoming stuff, try to get it as early as you can. You can ride on the train, you get hot chocolate, all that kind of stuff.
Which I can't drink,
but
fact, it's actual steam.
It's good at. No, unfortunately, but it's still a really good ass time. You still get to ride on a train. You get to see like parts of St. Louis. I mean, I've never seen before. The only part that was familiar is when the Staples Center that we like, not the Staples, the hockey. Yes, Scotch Trade Center that we kind of somewhat passed in the train, but
that we would go to see the WWE.
Right. So then, hi Chelsea. And then,
what's up, Chelsea? Like, please excuse our nerd conversation.
Yes, please. But if you're a fan, that's dope. Sweet, thank you. So that was a really good time. I'd never ridden a train before then, so I Highly recommend. That was a good time.
Oh
Yeah, I've never
man.
been on one. That's my dream.
Hey guys, I got a question for you guys.
What's up?
So we're done with Harry Potter. Harry Potter's done. I mean not Harry Potter, but I mean Power Rangers. Because I want to put a halt on this for a second. Have you guys seen the new Indiana Jones film, The Dial of Destiny?
No.
I have not.
Okay.
Okay, so now that's
Is it
over.
good?
So
Is it
I have
good?
You gotta watch to find out. It's on Disney Plus.
I seen the commercial. You ain't got Disney, Aaron?
I do, but I've heard mixed. I would like to watch it just because I love Indiana Jones, adventure, all that good stuff. But
You come over, we can watch it like we did get on the bus.
Indiana.
Woohoo! Thank you,
Chelsea. We love Nerd Talk because we are massive. I mean, I consider myself a geek, but semantics.
Thanks for accepting us. Wait, so let me tell you guys this similar Hawk story, bro. So this morning when I was leaving to go to the hospital, right, I'm waiting on the transport to come get me, right? And outside, so Aaron, you know where those steps are? You know where those hedges are in the front, where my uncle had put the camera on the wall right above those hedges?
Yes.
So Shape, when you go out the front door, you're standing on like the porch, then there are 4 steps down, but right to the left of the rail and the steps are a bunch of hedges, right? And they go from our side straight across to the porch of the next apartment, right? And there were all these little birds, and I'm saying the bird, he couldn't have been, like about this big, maybe this wide, and I'm not sure what kind of bird it was, just small, kind of gray. And they were just hanging out in the bushes. It was like a whole flock of them, because I saw when I went out the door, I guess when I closed the door, it startled them because a few of them flew away out of the bushes, right? So I seen one, he came and he landed in the bushes, but he was in the bushes where he was completely hidden. I didn't realize that he was like trying to hide. I thought they were just hanging out I didn't know if they were just taking a place to land or what. So all of a sudden, he's there. I see a huge bird come flying in, and at first I was like, "That's a big ass owl." Then I was like, "Well, it's daytime. Owls, they're nocturnal. They're sleeping."
Yeah.
So he landed in the bushes, and when he turned his head like this, I saw his beak, and I saw how like long and sharp the beak was.
Falcon or like a vulture.
It was a hawk. It was a hawk,
Mm-hmm.
and because it was brown. And what happened was, so he turned his head like this, and I saw, and then he turned around, grabbed the little bird that I was talking about, and he flew away. And as he was flying, he dropped the bird out of his mouth, caught it with his talons, and flew up to this tree, a couple houses down, to a big tree where all the leaves had fallen off. And he was up there in the branch, and he put the bird there, and then I just saw him like kind of like pecking, down like that. So that's how I knew he was eating that bird. Like, I've never seen it, but it happened so quick. Like, I mean, the little bird, I guess he was hiding. I guess they knew the hawk was in the area or something. He was hiding. It happened so quick. He came, grabbed him, flew away, dropped him, caught him, like all in one motion. And I was like, okay, now if he go back and get like 10 of his homies, they might carry my ass off. I need y'all to hurry the fuck up. Like, I've never seen a hawk in person before. Like,
I see him a lot.
Like, ever. But let's talk order. Go ahead.
Yeah, order of the not hawks but phoenixi.
Beautiful bird. Like, and so Aaron, I texted you this, and I think Shape, I think I had texted you this too, but I can't remember. So they've been showing Harry Potter, and I just have it on sometimes, just background noise, man. I just love it that much. But so there was a part where oh, you guys know at the very end of the Goblet of Fire, at the end of the Goblet of Fire, Dumbledore in the movie, he gives the eulogy for Cedric.
Yeah.
And then after that part, it shows Harry, and he's like packing up his trunk and stuff in the
yes
in the dorm. And Dumbledore comes in, right? And that's when Dumbledore tells him, like, he was like, he's like, I put you in terrible danger this year, Harry. Like, and he's like talking to him. And remember, that's when Harry was like, Professor, there was a moment in the graveyard where Voldemort's wands and mine sort of connected. And remember, as soon as he said that, Dumbledore kind of like looked away for a second, and then he said Priori Incantatem. And then that's when he was like, you saw your parents that night, didn't you? They reappeared. Like, instantly he knew Priori Incantatem.
Mm-hmm.
So just for because we talk about this, that whole connection thing where you see the red and the green together, like in the films, that's just an effect for the movie. The only time that ever happens in the book is in the graveyard, and when they fight later. Anytime that they both are using the same wand with the Phoenix tail feather, that will happen between the two of them. But other than that, that's just an effect for the movie, right?
It's the same source, right?
Basically, like, and so here's the thing: the reason, like, this is something I was wondering, like, what you guys think. Do you guys think that the reason Dumbledore instantly knew, oh, that's Priori Incantatem, is because he gave the cores of those wands to Ollivander? So he knew, oh, well, two wand cores that are the same would have this kind of magical effect. You know what I'm saying? So do you guys think that the reason he instantly knew Priori Incantatem was because he's the one who supplied those, like that core, because, there's dragon heartstring, there's unicorn hair.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there's thestral tail hair, but that's only in the Elder Wand. There's the Phoenix tail feathers. There are, different cores and all that stuff. And I'm just wondering, like, what do you guys think? Do you think that Dumbledore kind of recognized Priori Incantatem, the connection, instantly because he is the one who essentially created those wands? And I always wondered if that was like an experiment that he was, because there are bound to be plenty of wands that have the same dragon heartstring core, or the, you know what I mean? But I think because the Phoenix is such a rare bird and is such a powerful creature, that's why those wands have so much more power. And I'm wondering if that's what caused the Priori Incantatem. In other words, two people with unicorn hair cores won't have that happen, but the Phoenix tail feathers will, because of how powerful the Phoenix is as a magical creature. And so I'm wondering, do you guys think, like I said, the reason that Dumbledore knew, oh, Priori Incantatem, is because he's the one who provided the core. He took the tail feathers off of a fox, his Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. I think that could be one of the reasons, and then the other, I don't know, because I haven't seen the movie, but potentially with Grindelwald, because like it's almost maybe like the Mandela effect, but I could have sworn that like I saw like in the trailer Grindelwald and then Dumbledore like having the connection, maybe that same connection, but different things. So maybe Dumbledore.
I think that's an effect. I think are you talking about In Crimes of Grindelwald?
Yeah,
I think
Secrets of Dumbledore.
Secrets of Dumbledore. I think that's just an effect for the film because Grindelwald had the Elder Wand at that point. So there's no other wand that has the core that would match that one.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's why I think that's.
I was gonna say, other than that, that was my thought process at the moment. So then,
if you don't look at it right in the film, the only time you ever see like the wands connect is with Dumbledore and Voldemort and Harry and Voldemort. That's it. Mm-hmm. There's one time you see them connect.
But that's like I said, that's a movie effect, because in the book, when they have their duel in the atrium, Dumbledore and Voldemort, they're shooting spells at each other. It's never a constant, like, trying to overpower each other's like source. It's like they're dueling. Like, you know how in the dueling club, how the whole thing was, in the dueling club, you do a spell, then I do a spell, and then you do a spell, I do a spell. It's like, because you remember like what I like about the scene in the movie is you even see, even though Voldemort is evil and you would expect him to fight completely dirty and that kind of thing, he even like adheres to the laws of wizard dueling and stuff. You know what I mean? He didn't constantly stay on the offensive trying to kill Dumbledore. You know what I mean? He attacked Dumbledore first, did his spell, Dumbledore countered, and then he had to wait. It was Dumbledore's turn. And then he countered, and now Dumbledore had to wait because it's his turn. You know, just the laws of dueling, right? And and so I was, like I said, I was wondering if you guys thought, I mean, there's nothing that kind of like says that, you know, like explicitly, but I just wondered if you guys thought maybe Dumbledore knew Priori Incantatem because he is the source. He pulled those two feathers off of Fawkes's tail and gave them to Ollivander.
I always thought that was like a spell or something.
What was?
Or something that like was cast. That's why he thought that's why he knew about that. I know it was like just because of the wands or whatever.
Well, so the wands, you know, the whole connection of the wands, because they have the same core. That's why Priori Incantatem, it allows you to see the like the last spells that was used by that wand. In this case, it was all the same spell, you know, that Voldemort used, Avada Kedavra. But that's why we saw the last like 4. Is that what it was? What was it? The last 4 people that he killed?
Yeah, it was
the caretaker, and then Lily and James.
Yeah, Lily and James.
Yeah.
Okay, so then, yeah, it was just something that just kind of dawned on me in that moment. But here's another question I was going to ask you guys. So that scene, remember we were talking about the how Snape, he sent the message to the Order and stuff. And remember, that's when Hermione was like, "Oh well, Harry, if you won't tell her, then I'll tell her." And Hermione and Harry took her to Grop, you know, Grop got loose, right? And then that's when the Centaurs showed up. And remember, she used Inicarcerus on, I think the Centaur that she attacked was Firenze. They didn't call him out by name, but I think in the book it does mention that Firenze is there, and I think it was him that she attacked, because in the book, you know, it was like, you know, you have no business here in the forest, like leave, you know. And in the book, she was kind of like, you know, how dare, you know, like a filthy creature that's a half breed, like talk to me, you know. And she used Inicarcerus, which, you know, like summoned basically like a rope around his throat and was choking him. But and Shape, you know this too. Firenze is the centaur from Sorcerer's Stone that came in and saved him. But okay, so you know the centaurs, they take Umbridge away, right? And at the time, I thought she was dead because you don't see her or hear from her again until Deathly Hallows. So I thought that she was dead. So when Harry and Hermione are going back, remember you see Ginny, Ron, Neville, and Luna running to them. Remember they meet on that bridge, and Harry is like, you know, basically Harry's like, you know, I'll tell you guys like where I'm at or whatever he said, you know. And then remember Neville was like, Dumbledore's army is supposed to be about doing something, or was that just words to you? You know, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me, he was like, or was that, you know? And then that's when Harry kind of thought about it. And he was like, okay, so how do we get to London? You know, and or Neville said how we get to London, whatever he said, you know. And remember Luna was like, we fly, of course. And then cut to all of them on the Thestrals flying to the Ministry, right?
Yeah.
Here's my question. Hermione, Ginny, Ron, Neville.
I've never seen his Thestral.
They can't see the Thestrals because they haven't seen death. So how did they get on them to fly? And
coaching?
Shouldn't it have been the Thestrals just kind of like invisible, like, and they're just like flying through the air completely invisible?
No, they're invisible. If you can still touch them. You can still touch them, just like you can touch Harry who's got the invisible cloak on. You can still touch them. They're still there. You just can't see them, but you can still able to touch them. You can still able to ride them.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not refuting that, but I'm saying, how would you see them or get close enough to do that if you can't see them at all? Because
Harry's there. Harry and Luna are there. So they're like, hey, this is the Here's his head. Here's his back. Now you got to climb on his back and get over him right here, and then hold on to here his neck. There you go.
I mean, I feel like that's like an easy answer, and it could very well be that. You know, I don't fucking know, but I understand. You know, like what you're saying, Shay. I don't know that to be true. I don't know that to be untrue, but it's just something that I've always kind of thought about as I was kind of watching it. Do y'all hear the music playing in the background, or is that just me?
Well, I definitely hear it, but I mean, I've been chilling with it.
Like, okay, no, I just didn't know if
What music?
there's music playing in the background.
The
I didn't know
music
if I didn't know if I had like left Tidal open or something.
I hear that.
Like, you don't hear that music
Yeah,
playing in the
I
background?
have.
I haven't.
It's I think it's from like the initial, like
It's from,
I
I thought it was something that you turned on, Shape. It's some kind of like ambient music. Can you turn it off?
Oh, is my thing still on?
You don't hear that?
I don't think it's still on because it can't be still on because once I play the videos, it should be automatically off.
But me and Aaron both hear it.
I definitely hear it.
The hell? Let me see here.
I've just been chilling with it.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's been on. Now it's off.
That's funny to me that you That's funny to me that you didn't you didn't register like you could.
Has it been loud? Has it been loud or just?
It's a little
I mean,
louder. It is loud on my end, but that could be the volume of the computer. Could just be turned.
Yeah, I was gonna say it hasn't
I'm
been
your
totally
talker.
loud
I
on
didn't hear
mine.
nothing.
That is funny.
It only threw me off because in my mind I was like, does anybody else hear that shit, or is that just me? But like I said, I got Tidal, my music streaming app, on the computer, and I was just thinking, oh, maybe I left that open and it was just kind of playing in the background. That's why I was saying maybe it's just in my headphones.
Yeah,
So-
personally, headphones good because I'm on my computer. I can't hear it unless I want to pick them on a live. I don't know if you guys fucking music playing during the live. It's got funny, wouldn't it?
I mean,
I wonder.
I've been chilling with it. Like
I would imagine that if me and Aaron can both hear it, I would imagine. But go ahead. What are some of you guys like favorite parts, favorite memories of
Oh my god, yeah, it was.
you can hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. Oh my god.
that's hilarious. Worth it.
Why'd you guys say something?
Well, we
I
thought
was
that you
chilling with it, man.
Like
Oh my
I thought
god.
I thought you had turned it on specifically like for the stream and just had ambient music playing while we were
Yeah,
talking.
no.
I didn't say anything.
I was gonna say I was just vibing with it. I was like, yeah, okay.
Whatever ever play
like the
ambient
whole
music
time.
when you do a live.
Well, I thought you was trying some new shit.
Things
I didn't know.
change,
Oh.
shape.
And see, here's the-
No.
and I thought, see, for me, there was parts where it would
It was
when it would
good
kind of
music.
crescendo. No, I'm not saying it was bad. Just as it would crescendo, it would get like kind of loud in my headphones, and it would I couldn't hear you guys. Is what I was saying. Like
Yeah,
so
it's called the thing's called night driving.
that particular piece of music.
Yeah, it's on StreamYard. You get like free music because you got what? So you have that one. You got acoustic, which is if a play. I think is this one here's acoustic, cinematic. You got dance pop. Yeah, so you got that. You got dance pop. It's taking forever. It's like loading right now. Is it playing? You got Feed the Ducks.
Say feed the ducks.
That's what this one is. This hip hop beat. It's called "Feed the Ducks."
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Okay, hold on. All right, shit. Okay, turn me up in the headphones. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Quack, quack.
Wait.
And then you got my main one I mainly use. That's what I mainly use.
Wait, I was gonna spit. You should have went back.
I still can't believe you guys fucking to say nothing about it. Like, man, what the fuck?
I enjoyed it. What do you mean?
So now, the thing is because was the ambiance playing during the goddamn intro too?
I don't know. It might have been.
I think so.
Oh goddamn! This whole live's been ruined.
Shape. It's Shape. It is okay.
We got to redo this whole. I got to delete this live. We got to redo it next week.
Gosh, that's a whole almost 2 hours, good sir.
Oh well, we got to leave 2 hours.
Gosh.
So you guys.
But speaking of which, guys, we have exactly 17 minutes left.
So, what is some of you guys' favorite parts of Order and Half-Blood Prince? I'm gonna unplug my headphones, but when you talk, I'll still be able to hear. I'm just gonna run to the restroom real quick.
I'll do my favorite parts then for Order. I love to see them training. I think that's a crucial part of it. That Harry was saying, no great wizard has started out as anything more than what we are now. And then Harry saying that Voldemort will never know love and that he feels sorry for them. I thought that those scenes, as well as the scenes, almost the entirety that take place in the Ministry of Magic, are absolutely awesome. I love those scenes. I can't think of one that like almost outshines the other. I love those. Everything from the prophecy to Dumbledore and Voldemort's fight in the Ministry, and then Cornelius Fudge coming in. I think that whole almost segment of scenes is amazing, personally. And then in the Half-Blood Prince, I really love pretty much from the Crystal Cave on, and then seeing Malfoy almost plead with, as well as explain his motivations. Like he says, I have to do this. Don't you understand? And then to me, it's him showing what the Death Eaters did to him, even though he may not want to do it.
Yeah. And
then from there on, I loved those scenes in those movies respectively. And then from there, it only gets more intense, ever since Malfoy casts Petrificus Totalis, and then he freaking kicks Harry in his face, breaking his nose. Nothing is the same.
Yeah.
Because their relationship went from snarky on the Quidditch field to straight up assaulting one another. And in another, almost in different circumstances, they could have been friends, but it never ended up that way. And
wait, did you know there was actually a deleted scene in the Deathly Hallows Part 2? To where
should we save that?
I probably knows. I mean, we'll talk when Donnie gets back, but I'll go tell you. But what it is he can hear us. But so there was actually a scene to where when Malfoy was walking up to Voldemort, I think it was, he picks up the wand and throws it to Harry. He says, "Catch it, Harry!" And then Harry dropped and caught the wand. And then he's like, "What?" And then that's when they kind of fall. So yeah, he kind of went there and gave Harry the wand. He knew Harry was still alive, and he threw Harry the wand.
Interesting. I did not know that. Well, if Donnie did tell me, I can't remember that.
Yeah, it was a lead scene, but I wonder if it was in the book. I don't know if it was in the book or not. But my whole favorite scene in the Order of the Phoenix, I love the prophecy thing. I love it when they go into the shrinking shack and they talk, and they're basically basically talking about Harry's legacy. You know how he fought like
I always
20
had help.
at
And
once, you know, and
don't
he
be
killed
so
Basilisk.
modest. Yep.
Yeah, he can do the Patronus charm. Oh yeah, all stuff like that. Yeah, I do like that part, and I do like the whole fight scenes, and I do like the Dumbledore versus Voldemort thing. That's pretty good. And then see, I don't really have any favorite scenes in freaking the. I don't have any favorite scenes in the Half-Blood Prince. I mean, I think the only scene I like is the damn chick in the coffee spot where Harry's about to go on a date and shit. And she's hot as fuck. I mean, that's probably the best part thing for me in a way. But I mean, other than that, I mean, and the whole like seeing Jenny scenes, it's pretty much about it for me.
I also love the scene where Harry confronts basically all of the Death Eaters, and he says to Snape, "Is like, fight back, you coward, fight back." And then he's just like, "Okay, guy, shut up. I'm the Half-Blood Prince, you little shit." Like that scene also just holy cow is awesome.
What did I miss?
We just talked about our favorite scenes. I said that I loved their training scenes as well as pretty much is basically everything that took place in the Ministry. I thought that was awesome in the order. And then in Half-Blood Prince, I said the Crystal Cave on. I think that's when it really just gets awesome. And then
Shape, you know that with the prophecy, only the person who the prophecy is about can go get it.
Yeah.
So, obviously that's why he needed Harry. And see, I think it's weird to me that maybe Harry didn't know that detail yet at that time, but I think it's weird to me that Harry thought that Voldemort was really like doing something to Sirius, because Sirius wouldn't have been able to get it either. You know what I mean? Like, just because he's his godfather doesn't mean that he could take the prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did hear, Aaron, what you were saying about the whole like every like great wizard started off as what we are, nothing more than what we are. And if you guys remember the trailer for the movie when it came out, that was one part that they was like explicit, that they talked, like it was a big part of the trailer. And when he was saying that, it was like that voice line, but as he was like, every great wizard started out as nothing more than we are now. And it did like these little cuts quickly: Dumbledore, Lupin, Snape, Voldemort. And then he said students, and then it cut to him talking to the Dumbledore's army. We also got to talk, like, one of my favorite scenes is how you seem to be laboring under the fact that I was going to, under the delusion that I was going to, what was the phrase? Come quietly. Well, I'll tell you this. I have no intention of going to Azkaban. And he looked at Harry and he winked, and then Fawkes came flying in and he screeched and he clapped his hands, and then boom, just gone. Like,
I do what the guy said though. He's like, you know what? Say what you want, Minister, but
Dumbledore is got style.
Shout out to Kingsley. I like Kingsley. So Shape, let me tell you this, and I heard what you were saying too, Aaron, about how it went from just like petty, like little arguments to physical interactions with Malfoy and Harry. And Malfoy, Harry actually almost killed him, remember?
Yeah.
Sectum Sempra was going to kill him. And so okay, so the Sectum Sempra thing. The book, right?
I know some of these words. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
You guys remember they went to Slughorn's class, and you remember he was like, Harry was like, oh, actually, I don't have my book, and neither does Ron. And remember, Slughorn was like, oh, no problem, just grab what you want from the cupboard, right?
Yeah.
Now, remember when they got over there, they started tussling with each other over the book, because one book said advanced potion making and the other one just said potion making. And so they was wrestling over the advanced one. So Ron took the one that said advanced, which obviously
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even the best one because Harry picked up Snape's old book, right? They had all the like scratches out and like this,
Right.
this had all the edits in it. So Sectum Sempra, you remember when Harry was sitting in the common room and he was like, "Have you ever heard of this spell, Sectum Sempra?" And Hermione was like, no, and she was like, "I would like to know whose that book was. Let's see." Remember, Harry was like, "No, the binding is fragile," and she was like, "The binding is fragile." And Jenny came up behind him and like snatched it, and she was like, "Who's the Half-Blood Prince?" Remember? So here's a detail that should have been in the movie, and the one thing I, overall dislike about Half-Blood Prince is them omitting a lot of the shit with the Voldemort's with the memories that Dumbledore had of Voldemort, and I just don't like the abscess of color. Like I seen a picture on Instagram just the other day. I seen a picture on Instagram, and it was like it was a long table, and there was a split right down the middle, and it said Harry Potter 1 and 2, and this side of the room was like a rainbow, and then it said Harry Potter 3 through 7, and it was black on that other side. Like, and because when they get to the cave, that shit is so drained of color, you can barely tell that Harry's jacket is even red because it's so drained of color. I just dislike how that looks.
Yeah.
But
This is supposed to be dark. It's supposed to be the dark time. Darkness.
Anyway, so when he uses Sectum Sempra on Malfoy in the bathroom, right? You guys know how Snape comes in and Snape starts doing, Vulnera Ascendant to it because he had to make a like a counter spell for that, right? Now he made that spell for James Potter when he was bullying him at school. Actually, excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. Sorry. So the falling out that that Snape and Lily ended up having happened. It stemmed from this one scene. So he had made Sectum Sempra already, just in case James and the rest of the Marauders came bullying him and shit, right? So what happens is he grabs him. You guys know when in Order of the Phoenix when he's doing the occlumency with Snape, and he's constantly looking.
If I could just have some rest.
Has them rest.
Or how Harry says, like, if I could just rest, and he's like,
the Dark Lord isn't resting. Yeah. But you know how he used, he went to do it again. Legitimus and Protego, he countered him, and he got into Snape's head, right? So in the book, that chapter is called Snape's Worst Memory, and there's obviously it's more detailed. But what happens is he gets bullied by the Marauders. They come to him, and like Wingardium Leviosa, whatever, like they're holding him upside down, and James, it's like like he's like about to like rip his clothes off of him and embarrass him while he's hanging upside down and all this and that, right? So what happens is, he's holding him upside down like that. This is the crazy part. He ends up using Sectum Sempra on James, and it cuts his cheek open, and he drops him because it was concentration changes. Obviously, he drops Snape, but before that, Lily was like, "Come on, James, put him down, like leave him alone." And that's when she one of them came up and said, I don't know if it was James, I think, and he was like, "Oh, you got to have Evans fight your battles for you, Snivellus," and that's when Snape was like, he was like, "No," he was like, "I don't need anybody to do anything for me, especially not a mudblood," and that's when Lily was like, "Oh, well, fine then," and like she left, and then he was like, "Wait, no, Lily, I didn't mean." She was like, "No, you said what you had to say, don't say anything else to me," and she walked off. And then the Marauders walked off because they were trying to they had to take James to the hospital for his cheek, right? So that, that's like he created that spell basically to get the Marauders to stop fucking with him and bullying him. That's what it. Because remember, even in the book, it says Sectum Sempra for enemies. Remember, it said that in the book.
Wait, okay, but here I got a question.
Yeah.
So the spell is called Sector Sempra, right?
Sectum Sempra. Yeah.
Okay. Then Harry uses the same spell in the Chamber of Secrets.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. He goes,
Richter
Sempra.
Richter Sempra.
Oh, Richter Sempra? They all sound the same. Richter Sempra, Sempra, don't sound the same.
Completely different. Yeah.
Sempra. I call the Sempra spells.
I see somewhat of what you're saying, Shape.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, no, completely different spells. And you guys, so he hits Malfoy. Malfoy is he's fucked up. He's got all these like gashes all over his body. Well, in the book, when Snape comes into the bathroom and sees Malfoy on the ground and he sees Harry standing there, the first thing he says when he looks down and he sees like all the because in the book his shirt was like ripped open and he had like all the cuts all over his chest and stuff. The first thing he told Harry was,
not just
go
like
bring me your
beneath
book. Beneath the shirt, how you saw him bleeding kind of through it. The first thing Snape told him was, Potter, bring me all of your books right now. And he runs back to the Gryffindor common room and he's trying to find Ron. He asks Ron, give me your potions book. And Ron's like, why? He's like, I'll explain it later. Just give me your potions book now. And so he took Ron's potions book and all of his other books because Snape couldn't give it away by just saying, bring me your potions book, because then Harry would have connected that he knew something, right? So that's why he said all. So he went back to him with all his books and he looked through all the books. And of course, the potion book was a regular potions book. It didn't have all of his like rewrites in it. So then he just kind of like looked at Harry kind of confused and took some points away from Gryffindor and told him to get out of the bathroom. And then of course he fixes Malfoy and everything. So so I thought that was an interesting detail that they like left out of the movie, because I think that would be amazing to see him, his frantic state, like running to try to get the other book and you know what I mean? And then that's why
getting the books and I agree.
That's why Jenny was like, we got to get rid of the book today and all that stuff. But one thing I've wondered, so you guys know how he drank the Felix Felicis to go persuade Slughorn, right? And it worked, obviously. I've always wondered if he had used that, if he had drank that when him and Dumbledore went to the Crystal Cave, would the outcome have been different? I've always wondered that. And so you go to the Crystal Cave and he had to cut his hand. You guys remember there's that scene where Dumbledore's like looking off the astronomy tower and you hear Snape talking to him. He's like, have you ever considered that you take too much for granted? You ask too much. And Dumbledore's like, whether I have or haven't is beside the point. You agreed, Severus. I will not negotiate with you. Remember, Snape was kind of storming off when Harry was coming up there. And remember, that's when Dumbledore told him, like, I told you could accompany me and all that stuff on one condition, that you do everything exactly as I took, all that, right? And so, I thought you couldn't operate within Hogwarts. And Dumbledore, well, being me, has its privileges. And so they go to the Crystal Cave. So Shape, here's the thing you might not know. This is what I wanted to really get off. So this is a detail that isn't even in the Deathly Hallows or anything, and Aaron knows this. So the Crystal Cave was a place that Voldemort knew even as a child, right? Because remember when he was in the orphanage, he had a little picture of the Crystal Cave in his windowsill. Remember, he had like a bunch of rocks and like little toys in the windowsill, and there was a picture of the Crystal Cave there in the windowsill. So he knew about that place. He took two kids to from the orphanage there, and like he tortured them or whatever he did. And the kids ended up being like mutes after that. They never spoke again after that, whatever. So he decided to use that place, and converted into like a place to protect one of his Horcruxes. He obviously took the locket there. So how when they finally opened the locket, it said basically the letter was saying like, it was I that discovered your true secret, and one day you will become mortal once more and meet your match, and it said R.A.B., right? Remember, they couldn't figure out who R.A.B. was at the time. We know that's Regulus Black, Sirius's brother. So Shape, what you don't know is Creature, the house elf,
Yeah.
that is at Sirius's house, right? You know, like the mean elf, right? He was Regulus's like personal elf. Well, he's the Black family's like elf, but you know, he didn't have a good relationship with Sirius because remember, Sirius ran away. Remember when Sirius was showing Harry the family tree and Sirius' face was burned out on the family tree? And so, anyway, Voldemort had asked Regulus, could he use Creature for a special mission that he had to go on? And trying to be a good Death Eater, he immediately obliged, like yes, you can use Creature because he was trying to be a good servant to Voldemort. Voldemort took Creature to the Crystal Cave, right? And you know how you gotta get first, you gotta cut yourself and you gotta put the blood on the wall because remember Dumbledore was like, payment has to be made, payment that is intended to weaken any intruder. Because remember he cut his hand, the hand that was fucked up from the curse.
Yep.
He cut his hand, smeared it on the rocks. That's what opened up the cave. He went inside, and remember he was holding his hand up. That chain came up, and then he gave the chain to Harry, and Harry pulled that little boat up. Voldemort and Creature get in the boat. They go to the basin in the center. There was the potion of despair already in there. Voldemort had put that in there. He knew he wasn't going to drink it, so he made Creature drink the potion of despair. And Creature started, freaking out and crying and everything, just like what we saw happen to Dumbledore. And Voldemort just stood there like laughing, and he put the locket in the basin, filled it up with more potion, and then he got in the boat and he left the Crystal Cave. Now the Inferi were already under the water. Well, as you saw in the movie, you can't use Aguamenti and put water back in the basin. You have to get water, like the water that you traveled in the boat across. That's the only water that you can get. Then you have to dip the little cup in and drink that water. That's the only water you can drink. Because it makes you like extremely thirsty. It's like one of the effects of the potion. But I think what it does is it makes you relive your worst memories. Because remember, Dumbledore was like rocking back and forth and he was saying it's all my fault. And it was because of his sister Ariana getting killed in Dumbledore, Grindelwald, and Aberforth. His brother, right? Shape, Dumbledore's brother. They had a 3-way fight, and Dumbledore's sister got hit, and nobody knew who did it, who hit her and killed her. But I always thought Grindelwald did it, to like cause a rift between the two brothers, so that way he can escape, and then Aberforth and Albus would never be on good terms again because they would be blaming each other for killing their sister, right? So anyway, Voldemort leaves, and he's got the locket and all this stuff. Creature is still like having the issues, and he's laying there and he's fucked up, and he's like going to get like the water, and of course the Inferi go to grab him. Well, he disapparates out the cave back to Regulus, and Regulus sees that something is wrong with him, and he asks him what's wrong, and he tells Regulus everything I just told you. Now, what happened was Voldemort didn't value elves. He thought elves were beneath wizards, and elves got some magic that wizards can't perform. So elves can disapparate in and out of anywhere. Like even if it's enchanted for a wizard to not be able to, an elf can. Because remember, when he showed up in Malfoy Manor, and remember Harry was like, "Are you saying you can apparate in and out of this room?" He was like, "Of course, sir. I'm an elf." Like because he can any place he can apparate in and out of. Voldemort didn't know that or take that into consideration, so he disapparated out of the cave instead of the Inferi. You go to get the water, the Inferi pull you down and they drown you, and then you die, right? And but Creature was able to escape by being an elf. Voldemort didn't know that or realize that elves had some power that wizards didn't because he thought they were so beneath pure blood. So Creature gets back to Regulus. He tells Regulus everything. And then that's when Regulus turns on Voldemort because he felt like he tried to kill his elf when all he was trying to do was be a good servant to him. So he kind of explained the whole thing, the locket, all this and that. So that's why he had the fake locket made, put the note in it, and then he told Creature to take him to where Voldemort took him. So they go through the whole thing again, and then Regulus tells Creature told him what the potion was going to do, and Regulus told him, make me drink the potion, even if I, he's like, if I beg you to stop, force me to drink the potion, like what Dumbledore said. And then he was like, I want you to switch the lockets and then leave me, like, and he was like, but no, Master Regulus, I can't. And he was like, Creature, that's an order, So he went through, he drank the potion, and he went to dip the cup in the water to get, a drink, and the Inferi pulled him down. And Creature was like crying, and he was trying to save Regulus, and Regulus was like, no, get out, leave me. And he was like, but that's an order. And so Creature had to do it because his master like ordered him to do it. So he switched the lockets, took the real one, left the fake one, and he told him to destroy the locket. And then he disapparated out of the cave, and Regulus was drowned by the Inferi. And then, as you know, Creature, as he told the Golden Trio, that he kept trying to destroy the locket, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't destroy it, right? And so I'm saying, to me, that's a huge detail, like in finding out that the mortality or the secret to Voldemort's immortality. You know what I mean? And the fact that it was one of his own Death Eaters who found it out and used it against him. You know what I'm saying? That's a great detail. And the last thing I'll say about Half-Blood Prince shape is that that part when they get back, when Harry and Dumbledore get back from the Crystal Cave, they don't apparate back to the top of the astronomy tower like they do in the movie. They disapparate to Hogsmeade. So they leave the Crystal Cave and they end up in Hogsmeade. And I can't remember who they met up with, but there was somebody kind of waiting for them there that Dumbledore had already set up, and they gave them brooms, and they flew on broomsticks from Hogsmeade up to the astronomy tower. And then that's when Dumbledore told Harry, that he was weak, to go find Snape and bring him to him. He's like, don't talk to anybody, just bring me Severus, right? The same thing. And they heard the door open, and remember he told Harry, he was like, get down below. He was like, Harry, do as I say, trust me. Remember, because Harry didn't want to, leave. So he goes down, but he had the invisibility cloak with him. They took it with them on this mission. So when he goes underneath the floor where Dumbledore was there, and then of course, Malfoy comes in, whatever. But right before that, Harry gets underneath the invisibility cloak. Matter of fact, I don't even think he went like under, like in the movie, he goes down those steps and he's like under. I don't even think that happened. I think he was still standing just in the corner of the room with the cloak on. Dumbledore put a paralysis curse on him where he couldn't move. All he could do was watch, and he was under the invisibility cloak. Then Malfoy comes in. They have their whole interaction. He disarms Dumbledore, and he becomes the true master of the Elder Wand, doesn't know it. And then, of course, that's when, Rao and Dolohov, Greyback, and Bellatrix come in. And, of course, Snape comes in with them, with the Death Eaters not knowing that Dumbledore and Snape had already planned this out ahead of time for him to kill him and everything. But I remember reading that book and reading that part in 6th, 7th grade, whatever it was, and being in the classroom. And when I got to that part when it was like, Dumbledore, Severus, please. And it said, Snape said Avada Kedavra, and a jet of green light shot from his wand and struck Dumbledore directly in the chest. I remember reading that line in the book, and I was like, what? Like, I just yelled that out loud. Like, everybody was reading, it's all quiet, and I just yelled, trash. What? Like, I just yelled that out, and everybody was looking at me like, what the fuck wrong with him? And the teacher, Miss Miller, she was on the other side of the room at her desk, and she was like, you just got to that part? Like,
you're like, yeah. What was it, Ice Cube, when in the meme you sent me? Yes.
Like, I was just like, I was like, man, this is bullshit, but I actually went back and reread that chapter over again just to make sure that I understood everything correctly. But yeah, but shape. That's I just wanted to like tell you those like details as far as like Half-Blood Prince. Like I know you're saying like the movie is like lackluster and kind of dry in places.
Yeah.
I'm saying some of that stuff that I just told you that all took place in that story. I think
Change that.
that
Yeah.
it would change the like them at the Quidditch tryouts or them eating the ice cream at the Slug Club. Like they could have cut that shit out or made it shorter to
Yeah.
put in that like that stuff with Regulus finding out about the Horcruxes and stuff. That seems like an important fucking detail to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you tell me, but I think if you add some of that stuff in, then it could make the movie a little
Yeah.
bit like, better for you. Like so, but that said, that scene where Dumbledore is breaking down everything like about the Horcrux. Oh, this is beyond anything I meant. That whole scene, that's my favorite scene in the Half-Blood Prince, and then of course the fight with him and Voldemort is my favorite scene. And Aaron, you were talking about how Voldemort was basically talking shit, and then that's when Cornelius Fudge came out of the fireplace. And he saw him and he instantly like jumped back immediately. Just that split second of seeing him in person, instant recognition. And then he was just like, he's back. Like I'm saying that little 5 seconds of that moment vindicated Harry and Dumbledore, who Fudge had been saying was lying all this time. You know what I mean? He'd been saying it for a whole year. And that one little moment, like, vindicated them like all together. I just thought that was so fucking cool.
Yeah, they retired, didn't he? He retired after that too, didn't he?
Fudge?
Yeah.
Yeah, he stepped down. Because Scrimgeour. I can't think of the guy, the new minister. Aaron, you know that guy in the Deathly Hallows that brings them the stuff from Dumbledore's will?
Yeah, and he says these are dark times. There's no denying.
At the beginning of the movie, yeah. What were you saying, Shape?
His name is Victor.
Victor.
Underworld.
Okay.
He's a vampire from Underworld.
Oh, okay. I see I get what you're pointing at, Shape. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. But
every time I see him as an actor, I keep seeing Victor.
I see him as Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. He goes for the
he became
the minister in the Half-Blood Prince, right?
He became the minister after. Yeah, because in the Half-Blood Prince, there's a scene where the minister of magic meets the Muggle prime minister. You know how the movie starts with the Death Eaters going to like Diagon Alley and kidnapping Ollivander, and they destroy that bridge and shit. That happened, and then like chapter 2 was the prime minister of the Muggle universe and the wizard minister of magic. They meet to for him to explain what's happening. Also, Dumbledore, you know how Dumbledore just appears at the little train station and he sees Harry, and Harry leaves the restaurant and goes to him, and that's when they go and find Slughorn. He comes to the Dursleys' house and he tells the Dursleys that his godfather had recently died, but in his will he left Harry a house. So Harry has his own house, but Harry must stay with them until he's 17. But he has his own place for him to move into and all that. Dumbledore comes to the Dursleys' house and explains that to Petunia and Vernon and everything. And then that's when they leave and go, to try to find Slughorn. So there's a few details there at the beginning too that are definitely left out. But that's when the guy took over as the new minister when Cornelius Fudge stepped down. I guess probably just out of fear of Voldemort. Because remember the ministry, and remember Kingsley was like the ministry has fallen because the Death Eaters got in there and took over Pius, and then Dolores Umbridge was working there. Not that she was a Death Eater, but then you had Runcorn. That's the guy that Harry turned into when he was walking around the ministry.
Must not tell lies, and then his face changes.
Yeah, that's Runcorn. And then I can't think of the guy's name that Ron turned into. And then of course he actually was working in there too. So like it had become all, all corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
You,
sure.
you, you, had, you had actual people like freaking in stone underneath holding stuff up.
Yeah. Um, yeah, because remember, oh yeah, he was like, um, he was like, are those, and Hermione said muggles in their rightful place. Yeah, like that. It's crazy how, they were able to just take over the Ministry of Magic like that. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
you start to see how, how the ministry, I mean, the order started to, like, especially after Dumbledore's death, you start to see how it starts to dissipate even more and more and more. You know what I mean? And like by the end of it, think about it. Everybody that was in the order was pretty much dead, with the exception of like, yeah, like Molly and Arthur Weasley, because we know Fred dies, of
Yeah.
course. But like Molly, Arthur Weasley, Hagrid, Professor McGonagall, like um, and and I think that's it, because Lupin and Tonks die, Sirius dies, and Mad Eye gets
Yeah.
killed in the Seven Potters chase. Remember, Mundungus disapparates and leaves Mad Eye by himself with
Yep.
the Death Eaters attacking, and so Mad Eye gets killed. That in that scene, and so Scrimger, that's his name. Uh, Rufus Scrimger is the other minister who came and took over for Cornelius Fudge. But
Mm.
yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, Order of the Phoenix, like, they knocked it out of the park. And the thing about it is, the Order of the Phoenix movie, I think if I had to pick one that the film actually transcended the book better, like the movie is better than the book, it would be that one. But that, like I said, that fight in the atrium between Dumbledore and Voldemort was more like it was more than like avoiding each other. He would shoot a killing curse at Dumbledore, and Dumbledore would move a big stone statue in front of him, and it would hit that. You know what I mean? Like, because you can't block Avada Kedavra, obviously. And then I told you there was the time where he was talking to Harry, and he blindsided him, Avada Kedavra, and it was going to hit Dumbledore in his back, and Fawkes came out of the fireplace, and he ate it, and it killed him, of course. But he started being reborn right there as Dumbledore was attacking, and so Dumbledore really couldn't lose that battle because he had the Elder Wand. But my point being, though, in the book, their fight is more of like it's like how a gunfight would be, like, like people are like hiding behind cover, shooting, and then hiding again. Like, that's more like
reloading.
what the battle was more like in the book, as opposed to them. But like I said, for the film, they had to make it like it seem more inclusive. So I think, yeah, like, that's my favorite, is this the Order of the Phoenix, and it's it just seems super sincere, like everything from Harry being scared when he was the snake, all the way when, like, in the dream when he saw himself as a snake, all the way to when he was telling everybody, like, oh, I'm not going to talk about how Cedric got killed, so if that's what you're here for, like, then leave, or whatever he was saying. And then Luna, like, literally, like, softened the blow. She's like, is it true that you can produce a Patronus charm? And Dean's like, I didn't know you could do that. Like, and how they started talking about everything he did. He fought off 100 Dementors at once. He killed a basilisk with the sword, and but I like how, obviously, Dumbledore's army only consisted of the three houses, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, and Gryffindor. But I like how even all those people who thought that Harry was crazy or he was lying about Voldemort or whatever, they came to support him. Even that moment where Seamus is like, even my mom says that the Ministry's side of the story doesn't add up. So what I'm saying is, I believe you. Like, because remember, him and Seamus was like at odds, because Seamus was saying he's a liar and Voldemort wasn't back and all that. And my thing is, why would he lie about Voldemort coming back when his life would be the closest to being at peace with Voldemort being gone than it would with him back in full power? So why would he lie about him coming back to full power? You know what I mean? I always thought that was kind of like strange to me, that everybody's like, oh no, you're lying. But then the kids didn't believe him, but like the adults
Mhm.
instantly, Dumbledore, McGonagall, Snape instantly believed. I mean, Snape had a reason though, because he had the dark mark, so he knew. But
I mean,
you know,
more impressionable minds like Seamus believed his mom over his friend that he's known for however many years face Voldemort multiple times in different ways.
yeah, no, I mean that's true. I mean, I understand. I just the fact of the matter is, because like it would have been a completely different story if Dumbledore had been like skeptical too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's what I mean. Like, so I think yeah, it's gonna be cool like for the finale to kind of talk about it. But yeah, but Shape, that was the thing. I just like telling you like details and stuff that they like completely omitted. You know what I mean? That really do change. Like some of the narrative and some of the parts of the story that you wouldn't know otherwise because they didn't even like film it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Death Eater setting the burrow on fire. That kind of shit. Like, yeah. But thank you for talking about it and having us and stuff. I was looking forward to
Absolutely.
this. So
Yeah, sorry. For some reason, I'm just tired today. Like today's like one of the days.
It's the time change, buddy.
Oh my God. I'm getting older, man. I'm gonna be 33 Friday.
I'm gonna be 30 next September, and I'm not quite looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be 30. I'm gonna be 33 this Friday.
God bless you, man. Like,
Mhm.
I'm sure I'll talk to you then. But happy early birthday for sure. But I know
Yes,
I'll talk to you
sir.
then. But yeah, so we're on for next Monday, or are we?
Yep, next Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be good.
All righty, guys. Thank you guys for always coming. It's always been a pleasure and honor with you guys. And of course, go ahead and you guys got any things you want to say before you head out?
Thank you for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful and restful night. The two of you gentlemen, and I will see y'all to talk about the conclusion next week.
Where and where will they find you if somebody wants to stalk you in your personal life?
It's basically just the breast boy, not who lived again. It's just the breast boy.
The fact that you put again is hilarious. So like you died and then came back.
I mean, he did kind of.
Because remember, like that's why it's like Don Weasley. Remember, like a couple weeks ago, he said Trill. Remember, it said Trill Weasley.
That was funny. So I was like, I know that you were going to think of something, so I had to think of something.
Because in my mind, I was thinking. You remember when he was like, "Oh, I'm Ron Weasley," so that's why in my head I was like, Don Weasley. Yeah, I'll take it.
It fits.
Honestly, you call yourself our mother. But yeah, thank you, Shape, for having us on, man. This is fun. Definitely something that I always, look forward to as it is. So I appreciate it. I got a couple more guitar videos coming that I have already recorded, so I just have to upload them. But King Donatello on Instagram is where you will find me. Donnie Harton Jr. is my YouTube channel. So just check it out, and I appreciate you having me on, brother, for sure. And happy early birthday. Of course, I'll talk to you then.
Yes, sir.
But everybody, y'all have a good night. Get some rest, and of course, we'll see you guys next week Monday. And I may have some videos coming up. I know Shape got me something for my birthday and stuff, so I do believe it's Michael Myers related. So I'll probably do a video on that for you guys. I mean, I really haven't done any videos or shorts or anything for the past like 2 months. So just kind of do lives, and that's pretty much about it. So I do have something for you guys coming up, and then I do have an unboxing coming up for my other YouTube channel. I started another YouTube channel. It will actually be the first video. It's called AA Fitness. So pretty much just working out like that. I've been except back in the gym and everything, and working out and everything again. I also have a new Instagram page. If anyone wants to check that out, it's called Aguilar -fit, I think -90 over on Instagram. You can follow me there. And then But yeah, I do have an unboxing coming up for that. Me and Miss Shape are going to try this basically this type of protein powder. It's very it's a big. It was I'm part of, as you guys don't know, I am part of the Axe and Sledge demo crew. I'm affiliated with Axe Sledge Supplements. If you guys are interested in having supplements, working out, whatever, or you guys want any type of supplements like protein, anything like that, to multivitamins, whatever, you can use my code Aguilar10 at checkout, which gives you 10% off. And but Action Sledge actually partnered up and affiliated with a certain movie, and they came out with a certain protein powder for this time of the season. So it was pretty awesome. So I actually got me a tub of it.
Oh,
and
man.
And so me and Miss Ship loves Christmas, and it is a Christmas theme, basically like protein label and protein powder. Me and Miss Ship are going to basically, I'm kind of doing unboxing on it. Me and Miss Ship are going to basically drink it and see how she thinks what it tastes like, everything else. So
looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Did you see the video that I did of the unboxing of the soaps, the Hogwarts?
Yeah.
Soaps. Did you see that? Okay, yeah. Yeah. So just as Harry Potter related, you guys on my YouTube channel, check it out. So last thing I did was the unboxing I got for my birthday a couple weeks ago. The Dr. Squatch Harry Potter soaps. It's limited edition, so I think by the end of the year that it'll be like pretty much discontinued. I think they still make the Star Wars ones, which was like Yoda, Obi-Wan, Darth Maul, Darth Vader. But this one, it's just the 4 houses and the soap bricks. I mean, they're really thick. So I mean, you're gonna get a month, 2.5, maybe 3 months if you don't use it. If you don't use it like every day,
bar,
like
yeah.
per brick of soap, and they're just they're the colors, the 4 colors: red, blue,
You're
yellow,
not going to use them, are you?
No.
You better keep those in that box.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep them. Like, I mean, if I had, if I luck up and like can get another box, then I would actually use them. But
it'd be crazy if Dr. Squatch did this release and he never released it again, and Donnie still has the bars. Oh my god! You could probably go eBay and freaking sell it for like over $1 million probably for the damn fucking box.
Well, see, and because people are
would be
diehard fans.
wild.
People are diehard fans. I mean, not the ones that are like boycotting J.K. Rowling, but I mean, like, y'all better put some respect on her name, because without the woman, we wouldn't have this thing that we all love. You know what I mean? But the soaps, man, I got them in the bathroom counter. They smell like phenomenal. Just the different scents and like different grades. So if you guys want to get them, like, definitely try them out. I bought them through Amazon, so they were cheaper on Amazon than on the actual like Dr. Squatch website, ironically. But you get the 4 houses, and but like I said, you'll get months. Like, if you're getting 3 months out of 1 bar, you can get like almost a calendar year with the 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I just wanted to say that you guys go to my channel and check out that unboxing I did.
Heck yeah.
Well, again, guys, y'all have a good night. Thank you again. Thank you everybody in the chat. And as always, everybody, always remember, the shape is always at Hogwarts. Always. Well, everybody.
He said always.